Welcome to the Nomad Network, your first stop for complete and comprehensive Chicago Bears football coverage. Dive deep into analyses, updates, and all things Bears. Subscribe to our YouTube channel today and never miss a beat. Thank you in advance for your support. We promise to bring you the best because together we're unstoppable. Go Bears!
Yo, No Maniacs. Welcome into this Sunday night edition of Nomad at Night. And we got some football to talk about, quite a lot of it and quite a little of it because it's been less to no action happening for the last 3 or 4 days. And I've been trying to keep my eye on the movements or non-movements thereof all for since I've seen you guys last or heard from you guys. But wow, man, it's nothing's happening, but it just reminds me how we kind of ended the football conversation. I think I might have been talking to kids when I was telling them, I was like, it feels like they're saving for a nice move somewhere, and not Max Crosby or anything like that. I think he's in Vegas for the year. I'm talking about something. I don't know exactly what it is, but it feels like they're waiting on something. But there's been no real activity other than the re-signing of Jalen Jones, which I like. But that's been pretty much it. Ryan Poles has had a chance to speak, and I listened to his his press conference intently, listening to what the mindset must have been inside the building for what they were doing in this free agency period. And it sounds, I'm listening to him, sounds like me, Kids, and Trips talking, because he's saying exactly what we've been talking about over here on the channel about what's the intention of getting Neville Gallimore? What's the intention of getting, what's his name, Kentavious Street? Doesn't look like they really did much. But, if the people who have examined the tape, which I see Naj has.
Examining the booty on spring break is really what Naj is up to. Shout out to Naj, man. Big ups to you. Thanks for coming through, bro.
We got to have people looking at the tape, man. So you got us. We look at the tape for you, but I do encourage all the people that really, really get into this thing to go examine the tape as best you can. If it's just highlights, that's cool. Look at the highlights and see what you can gander from it. But if you want to, man, you can go a little deeper and start watching on YouTube some rep counts. So just go say Atlanta Falcons defense versus whoever, and whatever is gonna pull up multiple games for you. And then you can get rep counts. You can see what somebody does play in and play out, what's consistent, what's not consistent. Just a little tape tip for you. But you can watch more than just highlights, man, just to get a thorough analysis of what we have. And I do believe we got a whole lot better up front. And when I say better, I mean more explosive. And I think we needed that. But we'll get into that conversation in a little bit more. You guys, I'm going to knock on wood right now, but we are in the midst of a storm. We've been in the midst of storms over here for the past week. And we're in the midst of one right now. So hopefully everything will hold up. But man, it's been, let's just say life be lifing around me right now, man. It's just rough. And so without further ado, man, let me pass it on to Canada and see what the Canucks got to say, man. Alley-oop tonight, man. What you got?
Well, we're going deep tonight. We're going deep. Welcome in. Welcome to another Nomad Live, Nomad at Night. Thanks for coming through on a Sunday and spending your time with us. Big ups to Mike, guys here, Sports Chicago Style, Nomad Network, and definitely at Kez the Canuck right here on YouTube. Give us a like, share, subscribe, a little bit of follow, comments, all that good stuff. Help us each grow our channels exponentially. All that being said, I thought I might have been stepping into spring, maybe about a week ago. I thought it was springtime. I looked outside, it was icy. We had an ice storm, but everything was washed down, and it was just a matter of a little bit of rain and get rid of that remaining ice. And we're in spring. And then Mother Nature came through and kicked me in the balls, and I got snow all over the place again. It's crazy. What's going on, Creighton Wilfong? Good to see you, my bro. Shout out to AC Adam out there. Paul Rodriguez in the chat. Greg and Gale 23. What a dude, all y'all. But look, I'm right back into the thick of winter, and I hate it. Save a Canadian, please. Send me some sunshine. That being said, Trip, how things working for you, man? What's cracking?
Yes, cool. There have been those storms roaming around, and I've been, hearing the wind out there, and it's like, oh shit, sounds windy out there. And then, I've gone about my day. So, it hasn't affected me as, say, less someone who, like in Nomad's neighborhood, who had to suffer through those storms, the serious, tornado type touchdowns prior. But now, it's warm, and then it's cold, and then it's rainy, and then it's snowing, and then it's cold, and it's warm. So, Mother Nature right now is going through her cycle, her bipolar cycle.
Oh, that's what's up.
Hey, you know what's bad about it, Trip?
Huh.
And keep your guards up for people like Nas that live in like disaster areas where they normally get a lot of shit happen weather-wise. They probably used to, the underhanded people, man. It's a lot of scammers in the Chicago area, man. So whenever there's a calamity and disaster, they know people are kind of desperate.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the UGG buckets come out, man. The ugly people,
predators.
They trying to scam you. Everybody want to charge you an arm and a leg for everything. Everybody price gouging and all that old type shit. Mm-hmm. And I just barely been able to assess the damage to vehicles. I barely been able to assess that. Well, I have assessed the damage to the siding, few holes in the siding. I have not been able to get on my roof because it's been too doggone windy, man. So nobody's getting on anybody that's got any goddamn sense is getting on a ladder with getting on no roof when it's windy outside. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what's going on up there as of now. But you got scammers running around trying to take advantage of everybody. And I don't live in the best well-to-do neighborhood. So, I hate to see that when around people in this neighborhood where people are just struggling trying to get by.
And guess what, kids? Here in America, we don't have that brotherly maple syrup love like y'all got.
Oh.
So, not only the scammers, but just your regular stores and places like that. If there's a flood, they're gonna raise the prices of the boats or the sandbags. If there's these kind of things, they're gonna raise the prices of the plywood or the nails of the supplies that you need. Those prices are going up, kids. They're gonna gouge you.
Yep. Shout out to Ron Menards. He just re-upped his membership, man. We love you, bro. Thank you.
Ron.
Yeah, capitalism is fun. They'll do that here in Canada as well as raise the taxes. So we're right there with you.
I don't know if you call it like capitalism. Capitalism to me has a personality, and this ain't that.
I don't know what that means. I've met a lot of capitalists, but
I mean, there's got to be some level of fair play, man. I just like to take somebody like that. Like somebody called me today about my roof, wouldn't let me get off the phone. I'm just like, dude, I don't like to be rude, but I'm about to hang up on you, your wife, or whoever this is talking to me. Get off the phone before I hang up on you, man. I catch somebody like that running around my neighborhood. I'm tempted to snatch his ass on the side of my shed and give his ass one.
Give him some. Hey, Aunt Moss, big up. Yeah. And tell the daughter that Chef Trips did message me, and her pierogi request has not been forgotten.
Okay, there you go. Shout out to Aunt Moss's daughter, man. Big ups, big ups.
Well, both daughters, but the one with the request, specific.
Okay, cool. But yeah, Yeah, I don't know, man. You know what I mean? Like there's you're such an optimist at the end of the day. You're looking for some sort of level of fair, and God willing, there was a time when I used to be searching for that rainbow, that pot of gold and shit, but I ain't found it. I ain't even found a leprechaun. So you know, you
Hey,
just pray that price and shake your head and keep it moving, man. That's how she goes.
I could tell you a pretty let's
found
just
a
say
leprechaun?
less than refined version of Nomad. A day when I did that, actually what I said, and made somebody go back to that the old lady and give her a right price. Matter of fact, give her a discount. I've done that before. Put a whooping on his ass. I ain't gonna lie to
Okay.
you.
Okay.
You know,
Well,
you ain't gonna do that. You ain't gonna do that in my neighborhood. Not to know old people I know. I've been knowing my whole damn life. I'll whoop you.
all right. Well, hope I'd like to send you out to go put a whooping on the Nasdaq and the SP 500, and we'll see how that works.
Hey, you know, it's only gonna last for a spell, but I got a feeling this is gonna be a bad downward trend because of the weather changes right now, man. This thing, I think, weather is just gonna get more and more worse and more dramatic and more extreme as we move forward. And I think we got to get prepared for that in whatever way we can. And some of that might have to be, getting together and protesting and giving the S&P and all the people that run stock exchanges and all that across the world, give them an ass whooping by sitting this shit out.
That ain't crazy, man. During the COVID lockdowns, there was a couple of grocery chains here in Canada. Like Canada we kind of turned a blind eye to a very major grocery chain taking over almost a monopoly of grocery here in Ontario, here like where I'm at. So there's a few different chains, but this one chain has really expanded. And as soon as it was lockdown times, man, I walked up in the grocery store and I never seen prices like this before. And like, I was like, this is crazy. I could go to other stores and find relatively normal prices. But this one particular chain was just like, yo, y'all want to come through? Screw all y'all. Then that was just the mentality, to the point that people publicly had to stop and go, wait a minute, like, is it just me or are these prices crazy? And collectively, the Canadian folks in Ontario stopped and went, we have to boycott this joint. Like we have no other choice. Nobody go to this joint. So people stopped going to the spot. Politicians got involved. They're like, yo, y'all need to lower the prices. And like, what was crazy is they just lobbied the hell out of it. And was like, we didn't raise the prices. Did you? You know what I mean? Like, just gaslight, wax on, wax off, and then lobby. And they were more or less able to maintain those prices right up until now. Like, I wish I could say that the moral of the story was they complied. They did not. You know what I mean? They did not comply. The
said, fuck all y'all.
Yeah, straight up. That's the moral of the story, right? That's the moral of the story. But everybody else was like, cool, you know what? Well, you can raise the prices, but X amount of us just will no longer be going to your establishment anymore. So they lose market share, but they gain pricing for those who are more affluent and want to do business at their location.
And that is short money, short-sightedness.
It is short-sighted.
Flat out stupid, because the large majority of the population
the Walmart was Patrick. The Walmart was the saving grace of Ontario. Like, let me put that out. Imagine that shit though. Walmart was cool. I could go to Walmart and get I got an $8 ribeye steak. Like, I don't buy my meat 90% of the time at the Walmart. I'll walk right past the meat section. But I was walking as I was walking past. I looked in. I was like, damn, $8 ribeye. Yo, and I stocked up on these ribeyes just because I ain't gonna see that anywhere else for quite some time. But Walmart was basically, I started doing like all my grocery shopping except meat at the Walmart.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing, kids, and this is to anybody out here listening to my voice. I don't care what community you live in. I'll tell you one thing. It's like God and Muhammad Ali for a long time. Undefeated is the internet. God, Father Time, and at times Muhammad Ali, undefeated. The internet is undefeated. Whenever you run into situations like kids just got through describing or anything like what I just was previously describing, use the internet, get the community together, and keep people from going to those stores. That's that act right juice they need. That's called act right juice. They'll get right after that.
It is one of the actual benefits of having the internet, because then you can sort of compare notes with the rest of humanity out there and make things happen, which reminds me of an awesome story about chicken wings. I went to this brand new barbecue joint just right by my house. It opened I'm talking 2-minute drive. So I'm like, yo, kids, I brought my neighbor's son. Let's all go to this spot. Let's test out some barbecue. There's a brand new spot. Hopefully it's good. We get to the joint, sit down. They don't have a kids menu. So I'm like, man, I brought the kids. Like, what am I supposed to do? So I go to the waitress. I'm like, what should I order for these kids? You don't even have chicken fingers or nothing. And they're like, well, we have chicken wings. I was like, okay, cool. These boys will eat chicken wings. Got them chicken wings. I order some ribs, and wife orders something else. I don't remember what she got. Long story short, food shows up late. Took a minute. Had to ask the waitress, where's my food? And she went, oh, sorry, sir. And she got the food, brought the food. First off, my wife's food's cold. So she looks up at me and she's like, man, it took forever to get here and the food's cold. That's messed up. I'm like, you know what? Don't worry about it. I don't want to cause a stink. I already messed with these people twice already. Just, start on eating. And she's like, fine, whatever. So she starts eating. I look at the boys, and the boys are holding up these chicken wings, looking at them like they ain't never seen a chicken wing before. And I was like, what's going on? And my next door neighbor's son, who's with us, goes, Matt, can you take a look at this wing? What are these things? I look at this chicken wing, and it's got feathers. And I was like, I've never been served chicken wings at a restaurant with feathers before. That's super weird. I was like, wow.
You never seen a feather on a piece of chicken?
No, don't get me wrong. I have seen that. But generally, that's me at my house making chicken wings. Or we've gone to the grocery store, we bought a bulk amount of chicken wings, and there's feathers in it. You know what I mean? I've seen it. I've never been served it at a restaurant. Never. So I stop, and I'm like, that's super weird. Well, maybe it's just one. And he goes, no, all of them have feathers. This is pretty crazy. So I start looking at his wings, going through them. And between the two of them, I'm talking about 24 wings between the two kids. They all got feathers coming out of them, to the point that they would have to individually be plucking out all these feathers. And I was like, that's kind of crazy. Let me talk to the waitress. So the waitress comes back. Look, my wife's food's cold. There's feathers in all these chicken wings, though. Y'all don't clean your chicken wings before you put them out, before you cook them? And she was like, oh, sir, I don't know. Let me go speak to the manager. So she leaves and goes to get the manager. Taps the manager on the shoulder. Manager goes, okay, I can see them in the distance. He kind of nods, looks at my table, and then proceeds to go to the table behind me and spend 15 minutes with the people behind me. And I'm like, so what am I doing here? I'm just, she went to go and talk to this guy, and I've wasted now an additional 15 minutes. Everything definitely cold now.
Hold on for 1 second, kid. Hey, Philly Mike, he just takes a while to tell his stories. Kids is like that. That's just how he tells his stories, man.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Moral of the story is, chicken wings got feathers. I ain't paying for a damn thing. So me and the managers start talking, and we start like we're cussing each other out. I'm like, bro, there's no way I'm paying for any of this. I haven't eaten any of this meal. I'm leaving. So I pick up and I leave. He comes racing out the door, and he tries to square up with me. I'm like, okay, like we can go. Me and you, we can go. Kids, get in the car. We can go. He's like, I'm calling the cops. You can't leave. I'll fight you if I have to. I'm like, bro, we can go. If you really want me to pay $100 for a meal I didn't eat that was absolutely garbage, I'll pay the $100. But mark my words, it's not going to bode well for your business. And he kind of stops, and he's like, okay, you know what? Just get out of here. So I leave, and I put him on blast, man. I use that internet you're talking about, and no word of a lie, this place didn't last a month. Place shut down. Ain't nobody coming up in there to try and pick out feathers from their chicken wings.
Easy.
Come at me, bro. Come at
like
me.
Chicago is not, I don't know what it is. Like Philly, Mike, you can tell me what it's like in Philly or wherever anybody lives. But in Chicago, let me tell you something. Why the food is almost good unanimously anywhere you go. Yeah, you know, you got it's levels to it still now, depending on where you go. But on a general, its food's going to be pretty good almost anywhere you go. You know why? It's because people don't play. They will run your shit out of town, cuz if your shit ain't no good, you ain't gonna have no establishment for long.
Because guess what? Even if you at the end of the block, you know, people will travel miles away to get something that tastes good if you don't have good customer service and or food quality.
And people will go out of their way to hate on your ass and make sure you ain't got that.
Man, I was one of them haters. I gotta say, I had to put it down on online. And like I'm telling you, man, this business shut down so fast. It was kind of shocking. But it's what it is, man. Clean your shit.
Look, he'll knows it with the quickness, bro. With quickness, you'll be there and be gone, like poof, gone.
Goof ass out of there.
And like in that first year in a restaurant, like you need to be impressing people. You know what I mean? You need to keep things above board, man. Nope.
Your establishment does not rise to the level of our dietary requirements.
Bruh, like I seen bad things happen to. I just say I can't count on I don't have enough fingers to people I know, you know what I mean, that just half-ass went into business thinking just because they thought they was cool and they got, you know, a little popular around. Like you get one or two bad customers come in there, or one or two bad orders you give out, and something's old or ain't done right, or if your shit ain't consistently good, bro, I don't give a damn who you are. You won't have no business in Chicago.
And if you do mess up, you know, mistakes happen. Hey, I got a bad order. Oh, my bad. Apologies.
Yep,
you know, let us make this right.
Yep.
You know, here's some credit. You know, get this. And every time you see them, hey, you good? All right, cool.
Man, you do it right, man. You treat your customer correct. Again, it is of the utmost importance in the first year of your business. If you're talking about a restaurant business, of the utmost importance. If you got to go back there and cook it all over again, you go do that because it's about word of mouth and what people are saying about your business, man. That's so important. But hey, you know, look, Philly Mike, you like I'm not sure if I care, but like this is what I do. If you're gonna come to the show, you're gonna listen to talk shit.
You know what, Philly Mike? It took me a while. It took me some time to get used to how Kez dictates. You know,
you were going to look.
It's not like me. I'm pretty cut and dry. I'll get out there and just cut right to the point and just blunt.
If he's going to watch the show, you're going to get used to me talking shit. So either like it or don't. Such is life. Love you, man. Love Philly. Big ups to the Eagles and all that. But this is a Bears podcast. So let's get down to some Bears.
You're right, Gibby. You don't want those kind of customers, man. Like there's a good, like, all the customers ain't right. Some of them just be out there on some bullshit, man. Just trying to bring you down because they down. You know, but you know, and then there's truth to whether or not your shit is consistently good. You might go in there one day and get something that's the bomb.com. A week later, you go in there and get something like, man, what the F happened? And you talk to somebody else, man, I went in there the other day too. That shit was garbage. And then you start putting two and two together. More and more people start talking about it. Then You got some splaining to do, bruh. Not explaining, some splaining. You better get your shit right quick, or you won't have a business. But you know what? Let's I think that's good for the pleasantries, man. We talked about enough. Let's get right on into. All right, let me just pose this question. I know Trips is going to be the most talkative here, and so I'm gonna just get this one to you first. Are you a little perturbed by the non-movement going on thus far to this point?
Am I perturbed?
Yeah.
No.
No. What? Come on.
Okay. Well, here are the options. I try to wear many different hats. Make sure you're subscribed at RRSCS Sports Chicago style, and maybe you can understand if you know kind of thing. But also make sure you do subscribe to the Nomad Network as well as the Canuck, because we are streaming on 3 platforms right now. And I will tell you why I am not upset that bigger swings were not taken in free agency. All right, answer. Swings at who? All right, well, Hendrickson was a free agent. That fool got $30 million, you know. Yes, the Bears could have made moves, restructured some deals, kicked some money down the road, a little something, you know what I mean? And hollered at some agents and woo. You know, can we get a hometown discount? No. I like the way that Ryan Poles is being true to his word, slow and steady, going to build through the draft. We want young infusion of players that fit the schemes, faster, still talented, more versatile. We don't have that. So we got to replace all of that, depth included. The free agency period is good for those depth pieces. You know, like Gallimore, you know, like Street. Whereas you find a nice gem, you know, in a Bush as well as a Bryant. So you got a little bit of each. You got a trade for Bradbury, the new center. So all of that didn't leave a lot of dollars to spend. And you still got, as of today, 24 open roster spots to get to 90. So the cap can be manipulated, but we see with other teams that eventually that bill is going to come due. You know, it's only so far that can be kicked down the road before you get, you know, $50 million in dead cap. And now you're really handicapping your team. So not expending future capital, because remember, in the near future, we got Darnell Wright is going to require $20 million a year in the next season for his extension. And if we do have the franchise quarterback, which we all believe we do, you know, Caleb Williams is going to get $50 million a year or something like that. And, you know, and that's in a season or two. So you got to start planning for that for the books, as well as fielding a talented team, you know, under that cap. So you have to be frugal, if you will. I know people don't like that word, but contrary to popular belief, where people is like, well, you got a rookie quarterback under, not a rookie quarterback, but a quarterback under his rookie deal. It's time to go all in and spend some money. And it's like, nah, that's not the plan of this front office and Ryan Poles. This was Ben Johnson's first goddamn year. Why is it all in now? No, let him get in, let him get the roster he wants and Dennis Allen wants, and then grow from there. It may not be on that same schedule that people like with the rookie quarterback deals and all that, but it is what it is.
Oh, trip.
As long as we have a team that is cap compliant, full of talent at, you know, the majority of the positions with young up-and-comers. Because remember, final point before I pass it to kids, we trust this staff or don't we? That's the question. Do we or don't we? We saw the contributions that the last draft class had, you know, from top to bottom. If we trust this staff to develop young players, give them the young players they want to develop. And in a few years now, we're talking about, yeah, well, we want to re-sign this guy, but we can't afford him. So now we can flip him for picks, and we'll keep this guy because he's a stud. Let the staff and this coaching staff identify and develop these studs, which is what we're dependent on them to do. So this is just a carry on from, hey, let Ben Johnson do his thing and trust him. Now, will the defense maybe take a little bit of a step back next year? Well, that's kind of hard to do because let's remember the defense was ass last season, except for those turnovers. So let's, maybe depend on the offense a little more to put up maybe a few extra touchdowns a game while the defense comes along, gets young, hungry, and cohesive, and then we can go from there and we can take the goddamn North and never give that shit back. So you got to do that slow and steady through the draft, and that's what the hell we doing, and I like it.
Well, before you go, kids, let me answer this question, Ron.
Good. I was going to pose a question back to you, but go for it.
Well, because Trips asked me this late or somewhere mid-show Wednesday night. I think he asked me. He says, and Ron says, how would you grade the Bears free agency? And that's with 24 open roster spots. And I'm glad Tripp pointed that out. That's almost impossible for me to grade, because with that much not there. I mean, I can see if we only had
graded negatively. Grade it.
Well, here let me share a little something with you while we're discussing this. Go ahead and keep talking, Nomad. But what you have on the screen right now is an updated roster: offense, defense, and special teams. The color coding: blue is this trade here for Bradbury, the center. Free agent signings of Khalif Raymond, Jedrick Willis, Contavious Street, Gallimore, Bush, Lewis, and Bryant. And then are they healthy? Running back Deion Hankins, Deo Odingbo. He's motivated, but is he healthy? Shamar Turner, TJ Edwards. Probably going to be on the pup most of the year. Ozzie Trapillo and Noah Sewell. And they re-signed Case Keenum, Theo Benedict, Jordan McFadden, Braxton Jones, Daniel Hardy, DeMarco Jackson, Jalen Jones, Elijah Hicks, and Luke Elkin. But now looking at this, can you see that okay?
It's pretty decent. You can blow it up a little more if you can.
Yeah, you can make it a little bit bigger possibly, but
all right. But now looking at this roster, take a a gander at the depth. DeAndre Swift is in his last year. You see what we got at tight end and wide receiver. So there are 24 open roster spots, and defensively that work
for me, please. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Okay, continue.
All right, now just defensively, you see this grouping we have here, and I know that they're, like Smitty Q and the one bruh from Green Bay, FGB, who are truckers on the road. And real quick, give me two of them, and keep it double nickels. You don't want Smokey on your ass. But so we're gonna try to keep reading stuff that's on the screen. So that's what we're looking at now is the roster. And so looking at that, while we're here, kids, Nomad, just looking at this roster, where we are now, and Nomad talked about free agency, just think about what we need in this draft.
So I'm before I say any level before I give this any level of grade, I'm gonna kick it back to Nomad because that's where the original question was from Ron. If we're missing 24 spots today, we are going to secure maybe five to six. I believe it's 5 spots in this upcoming draft. What do you grade where we're at today? I know you're saying it's almost impossible. I get it, but given the reasons why it's impossible, I assume you'd probably have to take a couple of points off the grade.
Well, no, not really. I'd say if you wanted to wanted me to give you a letter grade, I'd say a B right now, and I'll tell you why. I think it's the defensive front is improved for this reason. It got more explosive. It's quicker, it's faster than it was the last time we set eyes on the Bears football. And that's more, let's just say it's a multiplicity of beneficial for everybody around those guys that are, I'm talking about the edges. They'll be able to play a little bit faster because of offenses having to pay so much attention to these quick, fast these guys with this burst up front, those guys are going to get home a little bit easier because they'll see more one-on-ones consistently. I don't think people are thinking about that. When you got quick, powerful, fast defensive tackles, that opens up the whole game plan. I think that's what they were trying to do. It goes back to what I was explaining about the difference between, let's say, some of the slower, bigger guys on the defensive front versus the smaller, lower to the ground, quicker guys that can kind of get under blocks a little bit and create more havoc. That's a benefit to not only the edge rushers, the linebackers that are playing behind them, because they're going to slow down the whoever's getting the ball in the backfield. So it makes their job a whole lot easier. They get to play downhill a little bit more faster. But also it's going to speed up the quarterback. And so the DBs are going to benefit from that. And so I'm very high on the two guys we just brought in here, being Contavious Street and Neville Gallimore, for that reason. I know what it's going to bring to the table. That speed, that explosion is going to make things happen that we weren't necessarily seeing on a constant basis with all the D tackles we had up front last year. Tell me.
All right. Now, a follow-up before you go, kids, to that question, Nomad. Of these that we see on the roster of the back end, like your Kalinick's, Ishmael at tight end, offensive line, Miles, Hergel. On the defense, Jeremiah Martin, Jonathan Garvin, Jamri Chroma, Nefi Sewell, Dominique Hampton, and the defensive backs of, Terrell Smith, even Dante Manning, Javarius Owens, Dallas Flowers. Are any of these, and JP White Chocolate Richardson in the wide receiver room, are any of those players, do you think, who've been on this team for a year now in development on the practice squad can contribute going forward, or are they just camp bodies and, training fodder?
Asking me or kids?
I'm asking you right now.
Okay. Give me one, pick one name out. Let's just talk about him.
Jeremiah Martin.
I think he's a camp body until he's not.
Jonathan Garvin.
Camp body until he's not.
Jamri Chroma.
Also camp body until he's not.
Nefi Sewell.
I think he sticks because he's been in Dennis Allen's system. He knows how to play it. I think he brings some more speed to the position. It's going to be a good body to have with his brother being down this year. I don't think Noah's going to play this year.
No, he tore his Achilles, pretty late in the season. So yeah. Dominique Hampton.
Bigger upside than you think. I think they got a steal here. If they can keep him on the roster, which I think they have to, it's one of the guys I think they're trying to make sure that they don't overload this roster with and not give him an opportunity to play. It's one of those guys to pay close attention to come training camp.
All right, Dante Manning.
Camp body.
Javarius Owens.
Camp body.
Dallas Flowers.
Let's just say camp body for now.
And we know they just brought back Jalen Jones. He's good on special teams.
Mm-hmm.
Cameron Lewis, who we just signed, obviously, Stan. Where do you see Terrell Smith contributing this year, if at all?
I think if he's healthy, they expect him to produce at a high level. They're going to give him every opportunity in camp. I think he'll be another one of those Elijah Hicks kind of guys. We're going to hear about him day in and day out, him making plays. And depending on how well he comes back from whatever he was going through, I can't even remember. It's been so long. But if he comes back healthy, I think he'll get some spin on it. They'll give him first team reps just to see, what he looks like out there. I think, let's just say a guy like him could be a reason, depending on what he's looking like in the training room. I'm surprised they haven't approached Jalen Johnson for at least a contract restructure.
Why?
Or field some trades because of some of these guys they have out there. He can help give some money.
Oh, but these guys don't need money though.
No. He could help provide some cap
relief by not being on the roster.
Now, I'm not calling for it. I'm just saying I'm surprised.
Right. It could happen. Right. But now with all that said, kids, the breakdown of what we have, what we need, and Nomad's thoughts on, the possibilities of what players can contribute. If you are making a list, and right now, even though we are doing this for the Bears, right now, Nomad is Ian Cunningham, and you are Matt Ryan. So if you are making a list for the draft for this team right now, what position, would you need, and how many per position?
Well, Paul did me a favor here. He's basically giving me the entire list. You know what I mean? There's the list: safety, edge, cornerback.
Wait, hold on. I'm taking notes here. Safety, edge,
cornerback, defensive tackle, wide receiver.
Uh-huh.
We need everything.
Offensive center and a tackle. It's basically the entire, minus barring linebacker, the entire offense and defense.
We need everything.
Now,
so those 7 positions, just say one at those positions, or any that you want to double down at.
If I was doubling down, it'll be at the defensive tackle position. That's where I would double down. Perhaps at edge, if maybe at edge, if I'm not confident in the edge rusher that I wind up selecting first, maybe I need a backup in that scenario. But outside of that, single player. But to get back to the original question from Ron, I give this roster as it stands right this particular minute a C-. I'll be totally real about that. And it's got little to do with the idea of where they're going. If they're going towards a faster, more youthful group, cool, I'm with it. We're minus 24 guys, and Nomad and yourself just listed off somewhere in and around 8 to 10 camp bodies. So they've got a lot of work to do to really structure what this, what the 53-man roster is going to actually look like. I honestly don't. I don't believe.
Take it down for a second, so we can have a conversation. Just take it down for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Go ahead, keep going, kid.
Yeah, I'm just saying I don't believe that that we're very close. Well, sorry, I don't believe that many of the bodies that you just mentioned, many of the names that you just mentioned, are actually going to be a part of that 53-man roster. So there's a lot of work. There's a lot of work to be done, and I don't think they're doing very much in free agency moving forward. I'm looking at the available cap space right now as far as Spotrac is concerned, and we've got about $2 million.
Yeah,
there's about $2 million to spend,
and people still talking about damn Max Crosby. Man, y'all don't shut the hell up.
Well, there ain't no Max. No. They ain't no Max
money.
Crosby. They ain't no Max Crosby coming to Chicago. Not with that $2 million. I don't know. I'm not entirely certain what the aversion is. It's, a certain Mr. Schefter alluded to the fact we broke, but I don't know if that is truly a fact. But he definitely alluded to it. That's a conversation to be had. I don't really want to go down that road because unfortunately I just don't have that kind of insider information as to whether the purse strings have been tightened. You dig? All I can say at this present moment is a couple of things. The first one is we got faster, which is good, at the detriment of the people who actually got us interceptions last year. So 6 of one, half dozen of the other. I'm not sure which one is preferred. Clearly, speed is preferred at this present time, and that's what it looks like. The thing that irks me, and why I give it a C-, is none of the people who left this squad who outside of Tremaine Edmonds. Tremaine Edmonds is the one guy, you kind of had to cut him. There's no, just given how much you were paying him, in order to pay anybody else, you had to do something. The 2 things you had to do was trade DJ Moore, free up cap, and cut Tremaine Edmonds. It's just what you had to do. But the remaining guys, who all contributed in some capacity, not a single one of them left this team for much more than they were making on the team. So in that opinion, in that respect, they could have been retained. Now, what Brad Biggs and a few other folks have said out there, and again, shout out to Brad Biggs because he is an insider and knows a hell of a lot more than I do. But here we go. What Brad Biggs alluded to was the fact that, so you look at the market for these guys and what they were able to get on the market, and this is like the respect that the NFL has for these players. This goes to show, how thank you, like how good these players are, again, from a visage perspective across the NFL. And that's why you get a $5.5 million contract when you leave, or that's why you get a $5 million contract when you leave.
1 year deals.
And a 1 year deal. Now, I am going to say this, though. When it, and this is what's not being taken into consideration. When a team cuts a player or lets a player languish from a contractual perspective, of course, the NFL visage is going to be negative, right? If you let your Pro Bowl safety just walk without really negotiating with him, folks from an outsider perspective are going to look at that and go, well, why should we negotiate with this guy? Why should we offer him? His own team wouldn't offer him. Nashawn Wright's own team wouldn't offer him. Jaquan Brisker's own team wouldn't offer him. So therefore, the negative, the negative view would resonate across the 32 teams. So they're going to go, well, if they're not going to retain you, we'll throw a couple of bucks at you, see if you sign. Oh shit, you signed. Oh snap. Okay, cool. $5 million, no problem. 1 year deal, no problem. We'll see how you do out there on the field. And that's part of my issue with the comments that look at the way that the 32 teams view these players. I highly disagree with that. I believe all three of these players will have stellar seasons next year, and we're going to be like,
okay,
well, we could have killed him for $5 million.
Let me help you out here, man. And I'm going to take you guys into my mind and what I've been thinking about this whole time privately. I'm going to open my mind for you all, kind of get into a psychological mindset here. And I'm going to go back to, the NFL has always been and always will be a copycat league. They see trends and they copy what the next team is doing. And they just seen a young ass team like the Seattle Seahawks with a young roster take it the whole distance with the stellar defense and depth. I'm going to say that one more time. Take it the whole way with stellar defense and depth and ability to run the ball. With that kind of mindset, now let's take it to the big table with the big dogs. You got Ryan Poles, you got Dennis Allen, you got Ben Johnson, you got the I forget the guy's name, Stein, whatever his name, the money guy. He's sitting there at the table. I think his name's Cliff Stein or something.
Cliff Stein.
Okay, so you're sitting there and you're going through the gamut of things on the board. You're looking at all possibilities. You got it all up there. You got free agency. You got the draft. You got your roster and who to sign, who to prioritize. They're going through the whole gamut of things, which takes time. So it looks to me like Cliff Stein is the loudest person in that room because he somehow convinced them that, hey, spending heavy in this market is going to cost us long term. And it looks to be that way. I didn't see Ricky Pearsall being able to get $20 million. I don't think he's worth that off of one good season. No. I don't see, there's some big contracts that were given out here. Like Jalen Phillips, I like him, but $20-something million a year, not that much. You know what I mean? There's some big contracts given out there. And so we were in the market for, not receiver, but the edge rusher. We were supposed to be in that edge rusher market. And I think that kind of went haywire a little bit. And so as these things were going on, I'm just taking you into my mind how they must have been thinking as these things were playing out. As they're answering phones and they're calling people, they're looking at the market develop. And somehow I think Cliff Stein was able to keep them off the ledge because the market was getting rich.
Hey, where's Mr. Jewish? Big up to him. Now, speaking of the market and being rich and Kez wanting low market share people, what do you think about the contract for the left tackle?
You just tore me off. Hold on, I
thought you were done. My bad. Go ahead.
I was just getting to this point, and to the point of Trips telling us that I didn't realize there was that many roster spots open until he said that. And so now you add all the things up I just said into having 24 open roster spots, them kind of being, keeping the horse on its reins and not jumping out there and being aggressive. Now it makes sense to me to have 24 open roster spots. And I think, and this is just what I think there's two things that's in play. Either they're saving up to do some kind of big move defensively, to make a trade of some kind, or see if they can do something in that department. And I'm talking about maybe for a defensive tackle or something like that. Maybe an edge, I don't know. Something like that. Or they're trying not to, they left 24 roster spots open for a reason. It's because they think that that there's some teams that are going to have to cut some significant players, and they want to get into that market.
When?
Soon. Like soon. Like before the draft, they want to try to get some of that shit nailed down and know exactly what they're going to have to do in the draft. So there's some big names that have been released and cut because of their salaries, and there's some opportunities out there all over the board, kids and Trips. So just keep that in mind. I'm just trying to take you into, do the 3D chess that I think they're trying to play. They're trying to play a long game, trying to keep the roster young, but trying to keep options open for some of these opportunities that may come about. And they wouldn't have happened for you if you would have got aggressive in free agency. You see what I'm saying?
No, I don't. I'm not sure, but I'm not going to refute what you're saying either, because I would have to see what you're saying actually play out in order for it to make sense to me.
But you see what's plausible here.
No, from a plausibility perspective, I'm with you. I just don't like the only time that I'm really under the impression that players are going to come falling off, will be falling off, will be at that 90-man cutback, right? You know what I mean? Like you're allowed to bring on 90 players to your squad just before the season, and like there used to be like a weekly or bi-weekly cut where you would gain access to players like that. They don't have to. They can hold close to the vest until August 31, and then drop everybody on August 31. You got to now sign 24 odd players to round out your roster when those players are available. Right now, nobody really has to do anything.
Don't forget the June 1st date.
The June 1st is actually a good. Thank you for bringing that back. So June 1st does make sense. So just before June 1st, May 31st, if you will, teams may be letting go players they don't want to pay a bonus to if they feel that they're not going to continue with that team. So perhaps we're waiting for May 31 in order to grab some players. So that makes a little bit more sense as opposed to May 31st. Thank you for that. That does.
And one update: it's 22 players. 22 roster spots open.
That's a lot of roster spots.
As opposed to 24. Like that's still they've got a very long way to go. They've got $2 million to get there. Corey World, I'll just touch on what you're saying in the chat. It's not so much that I want them to stand pat. Like standing pat is the wrong way of looking at it. I want them to get better without sacrificing what they've done well. That's what I would have preferred. As opposed to that, they've cut the head off of what they've done well and fully replaced it with speed. I appreciate the speed requirement, but I wouldn't have sacrificed the interceptions for it. That's just me. So right now, given the fact that that's what they did, and there's 22 spots left to fill with $2 million, I'm not super high on what's happened so far. There's still a lot left to be done. Perhaps my grade will be an A at the end of this, but by the time we move towards the season and or after the draft. But we've got a ways to go before I can give this whole thing a better grade than C-, because even if we go down the running back roster, you mentioned Deion Hankins is a guy that you would keep. I'm not so sure that I would be keeping Roschon Johnson as a part of that running back squad or Britton Brown. Like, I think you can upgrade there. There's moves that can be made. They're just not making any.
Well, hold on, Chris, before you put that up there. Just give me one more second to talk about something. This is the last thing. Oh, just pull that down. This is the last thing. I think that because of I'm watching every team pretty much fill their rosters up. And I knew that we had a lot of roster spots. I'd have probably thought like 15, 13 or something, somewhere in that neighborhood, but it's much more than that. That tells me some things. And those things they are really gonna. I love the fact that they let the market come to them and they didn't go after the market. I love that because you can really hamstring yourself by trying to do what everybody thinks you ought to do instead of, and at the same time, you could also hamstring yourself by not getting yourself real strong. You know what I mean? I think right now, financially, they're trying to get themselves into an advantageous spot. And I think that June 1st destination for a lot could be, I think they're going to get some guys in here. They're going to sign probably a few more guys. They're going to draft. They're going to get these guys in here in rookie mini camp. They're going to bring the vets in here and see how that looks. And I think it's going to be a lot of activity after that.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Okay.
And just remember this before we get into what Trips is trying to do. Just remember this. There's a lot of free agents out there that don't want to go through all that camp shit in the first place. So they'll try to hang on to, dear life and try to avoid all that as long as they can and try to jump back into the game come, somewhere mid training camp, in the training camp, and you could see some action going on there. I have no problem with that.
Well, I think Ben Johnson will have a problem with it. Like, look at what he did with this squad, right? Big Sam. Look at what he did with this squad in camp last year. He really turned this squad from being a lackluster unit into being a much more cohesive unit. And that goes on both sides of the ball. I think that he wants to bring in the talent that he sees will be taking the field before camp, work them through whatever the systems are so that they're ready when September rolls around. So yeah, maybe there might be one or two guys that they sneak onto the squad after that, but I'm just saying there's some movement that needs to be made here, man, and
they'll take care of it, kids. I don't.
It's not my job. I mean, it's not my job. I know somebody will.
They have a plan for this, even though we don't see the full picture. They have a plan. They're definitely going to fill it out with some nice football players and try to get this roster better than it was next year. And I know they will. It's just it's right now. It's so incomplete. It's leaving a lot of the fan base kind of like, what the hell is this? What are we doing?
So I'm yay and nay on this one because you ended it off with being better than they were last year. I don't know about that. I don't know, and I'm going to tell you why I don't know. So, facts. I'm under the impression that there's 2 contracts on this team that are basically destroying any potential for them to really make solid moves this offseason. There's 2 contracts. Nothing they can do to get out of those contracts until next season, so they're going to make do with what they can do. Right? That's kind of the way that I'm looking at this thing. I just don't there's no way they can get out of those 2 contracts. Tough. But they made a couple of bad deals, man. They made a couple of bad deals, and it's sort of coming home to roost.
Is it so bad? No, I don't think they were bad. I don't think you can outright call them bad deals because you didn't get the performance that you.
No, it's not. It's actually got a lot less to do with performance. It has more to do with whether you can maneuver out of the deal now. Right? Like if you can maneuver out of if it was a 1-year deal for either one of these particular people, cool, you're out of the deal. If it was 2 years and you can manipulate your way out now, cool, you can cut your losses and away you go. It's longer than that. There's nothing you can do. You're eating dead cap. Like I'm not even I'm specifically not naming names. Y'all know who the F I'm talking about. But at the same time, I'm not talking about their, statistical quote unquote performance on the field. I'm not even taking that into consideration. I'm just saying, can you manipulate your way out of that deal? Can you cut bait and run and do something else? Nope. You're hamstrung.
Hey, man, listen, football is football and it'll always be football. It's a performance-based business. You get paid for what you did last year. It's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. And anybody that doesn't like that, that's your personal problem. But people get paid for what they previously did. And if you don't get the production right away out of a contract that you signed, doesn't mean it's a bad contract. It means that football is violent, it's cruel at times, and people get hurt. And all the people that like Grady and like Dio, the people are complaining about those contracts. I get it, man. I'm saying this to you. We got Grady knowing that he just came off of a surgery. And he really needed a year to really rehab, but he played the year on out. Really, he needed one. But, that's neither here nor there. He's got a certain amount of months to get himself back to Grady Jarrett shape. But they backfill Grady Jarrett's role by getting the two guys that they got to bring what Grady can bring to the table. They know that. The thing with Dio, nobody expected that to happen. We will see a healthy Dio in his defense, been there for a year now, knowing what they do. Let's see what Dio looks like after that. And so I'm hesitant to call any of these contracts bad contracts until I see a complete body of work. We haven't.
Well, I'm calling them bad. I'm not calling them bad for the reasons that you just described. That's why I did not describe them as such. Got nothing to do with their play. It's got, in my opinion, it's got nothing to do with their play. I'm not talking about their play, what they did on the field or did not do on the field. I'm talking about, can you get out of this deal if you want to? And the answer is no. All that you can do is restructure the deal, which pushes money into the future and makes for a future problem for the organization, which a guy like Cliff Stein, as you brought up before, is going to go, guys, like, we can't push everything into the future. It'll eventually come home to roost. We have to pay it at some point. So that's what I'm saying. If these were 2-year deals for these two players, I'd have no problems. They could cut bait. They could move. They can make the decision not to. All of the above is their oyster. Right now, they cannot. It's a $20 million dead cap hit for either one of those players, given the length of the deal that they contracted. That's what I'm talking. I'm literally talking dollars and cents and not.
Who are we talking about in specific, man? So
you just brought up the two guys. You know who I'm talking about.
Well, it'd be good for the shorts if you mentioned them.
I'm trying. I'm doing it very purposefully. Because
you got to put your name on. Let me put my name on it, and you don't.
But you did. You put your name on it. I'm not trying to talk.
You wouldn't. I only did
that to me now. I'm not trying to talk ill about these two players because I don't believe that.
But you don't want to be on a short and be wrong.
It's got nothing to do. Why would? No, I don't give a shit about that. Actually, you might. I've been wrong a million times. I'll be wrong again.
You
and I'll admit to it. And
all three of us are one. Plus Samo, we all one. So whatever you say, we got to live with it on the channel. So
that's fine. Like I say, I'll follow my own sword. I'm a big boy. I'm not afraid of that. I'm saying straight up. I'm trying to do the thing that you always do, and that is like, not talk trash about a player when I don't have to talk trash about them. I don't have to throw darts at, you know what I mean? I don't have to throw darts at these particular players. There's no reason for me to do that. I'm talking contractually what Ryan Poles signed with those players has hamstrung this team in 2026. Period.
That being said, I understand. I mean, we're talking about the, that firecracker inside the contract that could do a little bit of damage to a finger or something like that. But they can also, like Samo was saying in there, man, they can fix those contracts. They can fix them.
They can't. Here's
the thing. It's understood, but after 26, they can fix them and can get out the money.
27.
But yeah, it's they've been here what, a year? I mean, unless they're doing 1-year deals, there are no real exit strategies that soon in the contracts.
They could have done a 2-year deal. Let me give Ryan Poles a little bit of the benefit of the doubt here now, in that respect. Benefit of the doubt is I'm not sure he really came into this season thinking that this team that he'd assembled in 2025 was going to go as deep as they did and do the damage that they did. These guys were long-term additions to the team, and that was his idea initially. I want these guys around for a long period of time. Oh, snap. Without these two guys for the better part of the season, this team actually got relatively deep into the playoffs. That's wild.
Hey, I got a question for both of y'all before we get into what Trips has got cooking up for us. I got a question for you. I'm gonna list a couple of guys. We talking about rework contracts. We talking about Grady. We talking about Dial, possibly Montez Sweat and Jalen Johnson. Of the names I just mentioned, who do you think would be the least likely to have his contract restructured? Because you got to remember, these are signed contracts on both sides. They agreed to terms. And so the player has to agree to have his contract reworked in the first place. So that's not just, you'll walk up to your locker, hey, Jalen, hey, Montez, we're going to restructure your contract. No, we're going to ask you if you could restructure your contract. So of the names I just mentioned, who do you think is least likely to want to restructure his deal?
Least likely to want to?
I'm gonna jump right on out there and say Jalen.
Yeah, I would say Jalen, because I think Sweat wouldn't mind. You know, he's solid, 10 sacks a year. He's getting fair compensation. He's whatever. But Jalen, I don't think is actually long for this team. I think after they can get out of his deal this year, I think he's gone.
So this is an interesting question. With respect to Jalen Johnson, if I was Jalen Johnson and they came up to me and they started the restructure conversation, my retort would be, so like extension and restructure or just restructure? That would be my retort. And if they went, oh yeah, no, we just want to restructure you, I would tell you to go pound sand.
Okay, so you're still skirting.
That's how I would handle.
Who do you think is most likely to be?
Most likely not to? Like, it's probably still Jalen Johnson.
Unanimously.
It's probably still Jalen Johnson, because if I'm Jalen Johnson, I'll stick around. I'll make more money up front. And if you want to extend me out, I'll be a Bear. But
and it's not because
I'm not going to be a Bear. I don't want to mess with my contract. I want to get out when the getting's good.
And it's not because Jalen would be wrong for not wanting to. I wouldn't blame him. You agreed to the contract. You paying me my money. You paying me all my shit, and I ain't waiting for it. I could see Jalen having that temperament.
Well, it's less. It's not so much that he'd be waiting. He'd probably get more money up front, and it's just the way that these restructures
to
work.
Your point, because he probably doesn't see himself long for the team. So what the hell am I doing something?
But that's why if it was me, I would ask the question. If we're going to extend and restructure, cool. Like, I'll be here longer. It's in my best interest to do a team friendly thing. So move my money up front, and like I'll be here for a longer period of time. No, I'm not going to be here longer. You just want to push the money up front, so likely you're going to get me off the team. Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, but now,
Patrick, hold on, Patrick, I'm not trying to lead up to why he should be traded. No.
He's lying. That's exactly where he's trying to be.
No. I love Jalen Johnson. What the fuck would I want him traded for? I'm just talking about possibilities. I know what Jalen can bring to the fucking table. I love Jalen Johnson. Y'all tripping.
I mean, but now the thing is, you got to remember, if you look at just between those that aforementioned weren't mentioned in the name of Jarrett, the motivated one, and Jalen, how much cap does that free up by those three contracts right there by not being there?
So let's get into the other three guys. Montez Sweat, same conversation. And if I was Ryan Poles, I'd be going, look, you had a pretty decent season last year. I'm willing to restructure and extend. That would be my conversation with Montez Sweat. I think it would go over perfectly. Now you get to Dio and Grady. you can't. If you push their money up front and have to deal with it on the back end later on as an organization, you still haven't seen what you need to see out of these guys to do this, right? Like that's where the problem lies with Deo. That's where the problem lies. You didn't get now we got to go into the stats conversation. You know what I mean? Like the conversation I was trying to avoid in the first place. But if you have those numbers and you have some sort of body of work that I can lean on, I can go up to you and go, okay, cool. Like I'm confident in what you're going to bring to the table. So I'm going to push your money up. No big deal. We'll catch it on the back end. We believe you should be here for at least the next couple of years. But if all hell breaks loose and he isn't able to perform in 2026 for whatever reason, and you desperately want to get out of this contract, you've now pushed up and paid out the better part of that contract already. It's smelling like Nate Davis now.
Oh, Lord. Please, Lord.
I'm just talking contractually.
Please, Lord.
It's contractual. It's a contractual conversation, and it's very
Lord,
two things look similar.
Lord, not Nate Davis, man.
I'm just saying.
I hate to go back down that road.
It's just contractually.
All right, Trips, you can get ready to fire up your activity here, and you can give everybody an update on what we have and what you planned on doing there. I hope we didn't steal all that thunder.
No. No. While I set that up, I'm forwarding something. I just came across something, and while I'm setting it up, I'm sending it to kids and them because it looks like that the Bears are. I'll just read the first paragraph. Hold on, let me get my spectacles. What the fuck are you laughing at?
I'm laughing at how do you pronounce it? Spotrack or Spotrack? Asking for a friend. Ed's the Canuck. That's
he got the neck hangers on him too.
That's a good.
Well, yeah, because when you put him down, it's like you already know where they at. What the fuck are you laughing at?
Nothing.
It's so goddamn funny.
Oh.
All right, but give us the news, man. What you got? You got an update? Do I need to do breaking news?
Well, no. Chicago Bears rep versus the NFL. The Chicago Bears BDL, I don't know what that is prepared to launch an investigation and lawsuit versus the NFL on the grounds of the NFL's failure to abide by federal law employment discrimination under Title VII or Section 1981. We understand that the Rooney Rule is a company policy, but the lack of compliance by the NFL further supports discriminatory practices found throughout the league, such as the Brian Flores case and many others. The Chicago Bears currently meet all of the qualifications of the JC2A Rooney Rule that was modified to include draft compensation towards teams that develop minority candidates toward their promotion elsewhere in the league as head coach or executive. Since Ian Cunningham was promoted from assistant to general manager for the Atlanta Falcons, the NFL owes draft compensation toward the Chicago Bears. But the NFL and Roger Goodell have refused to abide by their diversity policies. On what grounds is the precedent being set on? The Chicago Bears are a family-owned organization that have truly lived up to the NFL's diversity policies willingly. The Chicago Bears is one of the original football teams that has been around since the genesis of the NFL. The Chicago Bears are not involved in any illegal activities that may forfeit draft picks, such as tampering or Epstein allegations. Though we find it odd that teams involved in these cases still maintain all of their draft capital. Thus, our team of lawyers want to understand on what grounds did the NFL break its own diversity policies. Why are the Chicago Bears losing their draft compensation? Falcons executives and team president Matt Ryan has stated multiple times that Ian Cunningham is in charge of football decisions and operations. We demand answers from the NFL, the NFLPA, and the Department of Justice Civil. The NFL should be representation of people from all backgrounds. It saddens me that we need to. It's more devastating, blah, blah. Give the Chicago Bears their draft compensation that they have earned. Their staff and organization is a model representation of what diversity looks like within the NFL.
Okay, go back in that story, Trips. You said something about DBL term that they are using. They're filing this shit under some term. DBL.
Yeah, the Chicago Bears B period D period L period is prepared to launch an investigation and lawsuit. So what is, I don't know what the BDL stands for. Bear Down Legal?
BDL. I'm looking for
it. Oh, you just got that one.
No answers from me because they're going to be off color. I'm assuming it's some sort of lawyer.
Okay.
Some sort of legal firm, legal.
You mean Big Dong Legal?
Remember the conversation we had? It must have been
big dick lawyers.
Come on, dog. Come on.
I'm
man.
sorry. He did it first.
You couldn't help yourself.
I couldn't. It was right. It was low hanging fruit. It was right there.
All right, man. You know what else is low hanging fruit? Your balls, because you old as fuck.
Dripping in the toilet when you sit down.
Yeah. But listen. I remember this conversation at least 4 weeks ago. It might have started, and I kind of got a little fiery during the show because I watched the show again, and it came up, and you guys were upset about it. You know, I think Samuel was on here, and I think a week or two after that we had the conversation again because he was talking about it, Trips was talking about it, and a couple of weeks later it came up again. I think Trips was still mad about it, and I was getting mad at y'all for being mad about it because I'm like, y'all mad at the wrong thing. Y'all should be more mad at polls for not fucking standing on the table about it. And it's a time to be humble, and it's a time to be a little demure in your attitude when you're dealing with corporate stuff. But then there's also a time when you just can't be. I don't think we live in an age where you can be taking shit from people, because people will continue to do things to you if they think they can get away with it. And so I felt like it was Poles' thing to deal with. You know, you don't allow the league to do that to you. And good on him for, you know, whether it was behind the scenes, obviously it's behind the scenes, but good on him for putting a foot down here and saying, you know what, you ain't finna treat me like that. You're going to give me what we are owed, period. Or we going to have problems.
Well, I think he took some bad advice and tried to keep things a little bit hush-hushing behind the scenes, and he didn't want to be the squeaky wheel, if you will. And that unfortunately wasn't effective. You know what I mean? Like, that did nothing to make any sort of effective change. You know, the media asked him about it, gave him the opportunity, gave him the floor on a couple of occasions to actually, hey, like, how do you feel about this situation? And he kind of downplayed it at every turn, including saying that he didn't really understand the purpose of it. But in the end, fuck Bears tax is probably the best thing for me to say. Like, I'm kind of sick, and hopefully Ryan Poles is sick, and I'm sure all y'all fans out there are a little bit sick of little slight BS that generally happens to the Chicago Bears. You know, just slight little things that happen for no good reason. There's never any explanation, and we just have to eat it and be humble.
But did you see Ryan Poles' reaction when they were talking about the signings of the free agency, and he was talking about them? And a question came from the media about the comp picks and the lack thereof, rather.
He said, "Don't ask me."
And Poles was like, "Hey, yeah, we're gonna talk about that shit during the owners' meeting, so I'll get back at you." Mm-hmm. You know, but he was obviously perturbed, and I'm not sure if this is an actual lawsuit or where it's coming from. But from Poles' reaction during the free agency thing, you know, even though it's over in the eyes of the NFL, no comp picks for you. You know, I don't think the McCaskies and or Poles are done chirping about it.
I think they should chirp, and I'm you know, I gotta give Ryan Poles some applause. Ryan Poles, Kevin Warren, George McCaskey, whoever all put the brain trust together to go and fight this thing a little bit louder, because like the reason why I'm applauding it is the way that you read that, man. Whoever wrote that, I'm looking at it on X as well. Whoever wrote that down, it really reads like some straight up, like, racist is a great word, but very specific fuck you Chicago Bears stuff. Like, we just ain't giving it to you because we don't want to. And if we wanted to, maybe we're not giving it to you because of Ian and we don't want to support the rule. Maybe we don't want to support the rule because of Ryan or because of like, I don't really have a viable answer to like offset this besides the word racist. Like, it just screams, it's their own rule.
Call it what it is, man.
I'm calling it. I'm calling it. It's your own rule. Well, how you just gonna go against your own rule and not give any kind of like, not have any kind of discussion about it? Just just like, fuck those guys.
Yeah, we just supposed to just lie down and take that shit.
Yeah. You just be humble, eat that, and we're gonna give 4 picks to the Steelers and another 4 to the Eagles. And I'm not trying to sit here and say that they aren't deserving of what they got, but gee damn, like, give the Bears what they deserve too.
Hey, I like, all I know is this. I know that he was Post was getting hit. He was right in front of the the fire truck hose during press row when he was at the combine, and everybody was asking him about that because it's hot as shit at the time. It's still hot, but not as hot as it was then. And the ruling hadn't come down, and I can tell. And that's one thing. And he was still being a little humble, dismissive about the question, trying not to say much. But a little bit of time had passed since that, and they were into free agency. They finished free agency for the most part, the major signings, I guess. And he gave his presser. By that point, I can see when the question came up, I can see I'm like, I should be a freaking body language expert because I can read. That guy, you can tell that over time, people have gotten to him. People have talked to him. People have probably gotten to his ass about it. Because, like, dog, you can't take this land down, dog. You're a black man in a corporate world where they don't really want you. But here you are. You can't take that, man, for the sake of all things good for black people or any minority for that matter. Dog, don't fucking take this like that. You better fucking start making some noise, Jack, and making some noise quickly. And so he didn't actually do that, but I can tell he was perturbed by it. But they've been moving behind the scenes, and we didn't know it.
Well, he wanted to speak at the owners' meeting and try and have some sort of a forum about it there, and clearly, nothing happened there either, which would then lead.
Well, they haven't happened yet.
Oh, when's the owners' meeting?
Next week or the week after.
Okay, perfect. So maybe they're just making a little bit of noise before that so that they understand that this is real. But here's why you bring the lawyers into this is this creates a legal precedent where anybody can circumnavigate the Rooney Rule moving forward. It's useless. All you got to do is hire a white dude over top of the black dude, and it's nullified. You do that at every organization. Fire your VP, fire your GM, bring in a new VP and a new GM, and it's nullified. Done deal. Doesn't matter what their color is. No comp picks are assigned. So you have to lawyer up here. You have to better call Saul and have the conversation because of this new precedent that they've put into place. That can't be moving forward.
And it doesn't matter at this point whether or not you get the picks. It matters, but it doesn't. It's not more important than the
principality.
The principle is it's principle. Okay, let's get you on record. Let's let you tell your interpretation of what this rule is and what's supposed to be applied. Now we'll put you in front of the court and have you give rationale for why you did what you did and explain to the world, which the world will find out, exactly why you did this to the Chicago Bears particularly. And now you have to stand by those rules from henceforth.
And that is the precedent that you need to uncover and have fully explained again in some sort of tribunal, so that again you can't circumnavigate this rule moving forward as a regular thing, as regular business. Like that kind of can't be. So the NFL walked themselves right into this one. I don't know, you're saying that the reception of the picks isn't the ultimate goal here, and I actually agree. I don't believe they're going to get any level of picks now, at least not for the 2026 draft. Potentially, maybe they'll get something for 2027 if all is well. Best case scenario. But at this point, the comp picks have been distributed. We know what they look like. I don't see them going back on what that distribution is for 2026.
Yep. Well, there you have it.
It's gone past the picks now. It's about precedent. Just like Samuel was saying, it's about precedent. Now it's about the principle of the thing. And we ain't gonna be the team that you rolled over to just be able to do what the fuck you wanted to do. No, we're gonna stand down.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm proud of the Bears for being willing to do that.
I am too. I agree.
All right. So as we move into the mock draft kind of thing, let's take a look, because I know like Samo and a lot of the people came in a little late. What up, Charlie, and everyone else? But let me take a gander here. All right, now looking at looking at the roster, 22 open roster spots, and somebody had a question. Do you think Tyson Bagent will be traded?
Well, you got another story first. Samo wanted to know where you got that story.
Kids, I'll send it to you. Could you?
I got you, Sam. I'll send it to you right now.
Okay. Yeah, Tyson Bagent. It could be a possibility because they had a top 30 quarterback visit or scheduled one with the Rutgers quarterback, Benangai's quarterback. So who knows? But looking at the roster, 22 open roster spots, and we took a little inventory. And so far on the draft list that they put together, safety, edge, possibly 2 of them, cornerback, defensive tackle, possibly 2, wide receiver, a center, and an offensive tackle. And if I'm correct, that is 9 spots, right?
I didn't count them. I was looking at the chat. What'd you say, man?
Yeah, that's 9. So, and that's what we're gonna look at now in the draft. We're just gonna do a draft, not a whole offseason, because the offseason is still being
put together.
Yeah, updated. There you go. So now we close that, and then we will go here. And now the only stipulations that I have, being realistic, I think that Ryan Poles, IRL, will trade down out of pick 25. Do you think that's a fair assessment?
Well,
I don't know. It's hard to say now.
Depending on a couple of things, depending on if the if the position of need is there, if the position of need is there, maybe not. If the offers aren't there, definitely not. So those
I would say if they'd have gone heavy, if they'd have met the market, and I mean when I say meet the market, they'd have gone heavy into free agency. I think you're in a position now where you kind of trade down because you really feel some needs.
Okay, now with that said, and 22 open roster spots, do you want to put it like this? The only stipulation is I'm saying that I'm thinking Ryan Poles is going to trade down. We got several weeks until actual draft time, so you can do different mocks. And at home, Samuel's already done like 50, 60, 200 of them. So, just for this scenario, we're trading back after the first round. And if you want to do any subsequent trades, that's fine. That's up to you, but you got to go back through the first. So we got 7 rounds on, we got random, and we're going to fire it up. All right. So Can you see that okay? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. So you ready to start?
Fire it up.
Send it. It's sent. All right. Now, for those wondering, some of the stars I put in previously as on, the big board for scheme fits and such. All right. So now you have 6 offers. You can now here's the thing. We're at pick number 25. And we have an offer for pick number 26 and a future second rounder. So move back one spot to pick a future second rounder, but that's still not out of the first round. So you could trade back one spot and then do another trade back to get out of the round. Follow me?
So I'm with you. The only one that I would do here is moving back 30 and grabbing an extra pick in this draft. Everything else is future, which is great for 2027, but we got a full football season to play, and we're short 20 odd roster spots. So that's the one that I would select.
All right, so move back with Denver from 25 to 30 and pick up 62.
That's what I would do.
Hey, before we go any further, let me address something real quick. In this post pre-draft, and people were talking about Tyson Bagent. I've seen quite a few in there. I'm just going to throw this little nugget out before I let these guys go ahead. I think Tyson Bagent is a little bit more valuable in a trade post training camp. So let that sink in.
Well,
but go ahead, do your job. I just want to throw that to the chat.
It's an interesting comment, but then you get the draft capital you get is for 2027.
Oh, okay.
And then also,
is that better than 2026 draft capital? I would think not, given the state of this team right now.
Well, but wouldn't the acquiring team want him there for training camp?
They would, but if you're being stingy and they're going through training camp and realizing that what they had ain't it, he's a little more expensive now, isn't he?
Well, he might be less expensive because the same token is just what Tripp is saying. Like, you want to get that guy into your training camp so he knows what the hell he's doing.
There's value to that, but he's a veteran now, and they know what they're going to get.
Is he a veteran in your system or his?
If it's a West Coast system, he's a vet.
Okay. What do we got for trades here at 30?
Okay, all right. So
I'm not trading out
though. Let's see. We're still in the first round, so you got to get out. All right. So the Raiders are offering 36 and 67. Dolphins are offering 43 and a future second, and the Saints are offering 42 and a future second. So for this draft, it would be the Raiders offer.
Let's take the Raiders offer. I really wasn't going to do that, but if you want me out of the first round, we can get out.
All right. Now you are free to do what you need to do, will and dealing wise. Now your picks after those 2 trades, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 second rounders, 1, 2 third rounders, a fourth rounder, and 2 sevenths. All right. So ready to go. All right. This is your board right now. Do you want to see any more trades, or do you want to pick?
I want to see the trades, but I don't think I'm going to.
All right. You got 2 offers, one from the Colts to go from 36 to 47 and pick up a 78, and with the Vikings to go to 49 and pick up an 82.
No, that's okay. Those are actually both very good trades, but let me see what we got here. What do you think of it, Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, Nomad? Safety, Toledo. Is he missing?
Nomad.
So I'm here. I don't think of him as much as I think of some other safeties. Now you have to look at it this way Now that Byard is gone, now you have to think what plan they have for Kobe Bryant. Is he going to play up high, or is he going to play in the box? Now you got that conundrum to think about when you start thinking about drafting safeties. And I can tell you now, I wouldn't put McNeil-Warren. Let's just say
box.
Yeah.
Okay. Put a star beside AJ Halsey because there should be one.
What is that? Safety? AJ Halsey? No.
Yeah. Okay. Just go back to all for me, please.
That's the luxury we had knowing Kevin Byard. We thinking Kevin Byard was going to come back. We had that box check. Now we got a little conundrum here.
Are we right at the top? No, we're not. Correct.
Yeah, this is the top 32.
Okay, we're just going to take Caleb Banks for the sake of it. Do it. So we got a defensive lineman. I'm hoping for AJ Halsey coming up next, if at all possible.
All right, and you are on the board.
Ooh. Let me look at the trade.
The Saints are offering to move from 57 down to 73, and they're offering a 132.
I might take this. Do it. Go for it.
All right, now you're back on the board. You want to pick or see the trade?
I'm gonna select here. We're gonna take AJ Halsey with this pick.
Done. Now you're back on the board.
Take a look at the trades.
All right, you got an offer to move down from 62 to 80 and pick up a 115, from 62 to 70 and a future third, from 62 to 68 and a future third, from 62 to 77, and you pick up 116.
Don't like any of these. Let's go back to the draft.
I don't, guys.
We're
I
going
don't
to take Malachi Lawrence.
I haven't heard about his foot being broken. People are talking about Caleb Banks' foot is broken.
Yeah, he just had surgery.
He did break his foot. We're going to take Malachi Lawrence here, please.
With us being so light in free agency, I don't know if you can draft an injured player like that.
Well, it's happened. And that was a total accident. I forgot he busted his foot. He busted his foot at the combine. These guys are right.
Yeah, because they were talking about he had shoe issues, and it turned out his foot was fractured.
Mm-hmm.
Damn! Look what Samuel just said.
What did he say?
Read it. It's right there.
Yeah. Take Caleb Banks off your board. He just broke his foot again, supposedly. At the
yeah, I think you should start over, kids.
Okay, let's rejig it.
Okay. Wait, where did you do that at? There.
Restart.
Okay, this.
Start over.
Go. And boom. All right. Now we're back there and start.
No. Go back.
Wait, what?
7 round.
What?
7 round. This
okay, thank you. Wait, hold on. Let me just do that. Scroll down.
Tackle with bad feet. That's not good.
No bueno. Wait, what am I doing here? I just want to go to the draft.
People with bad feet, it just get worse.
There you go. Yeah, all that weight on them.
Mm-hmm. Pressure.
All right.
Other fat people trying to move other fat folks. You're gonna be in trouble.
Yeah, I forgot about the Caleb Banks foot thing.
And that's that red flag. Got to pay attention to.
It is an important one.
All right, so now your offers, as we restart it, New England is offering a 31 and a future second to go from 25 to 42 for a future second. You can go, all of them are futures, so you can go from 31, 42, 37, 33, or 34.
What is the closest to where I am at now? 34 or 32?
31.
31.
All right, 31 and a future second rounder with the Patriots. Okay, that's completed. Okay, now your offers, you can go from 31 to 47, 49, or 42.
Sarah says, make it realistic, man.
Well, I mean, this is. I'm just clicking it here. It's just these are
We're
the
gonna
trade
take.
offers popping up. We're not creating anything.
We'll take the 42.
Hey,
All right,
hey.
now
Before you do it, Samuel says counter offer for something in this year.
Can you?
Try it.
Let's see. No, there is no counter. It's just
Yes,
accept.
there is a counter actually. Back up.
Where is it at?
The little pencil.
Oh, there, right here.
I would have counted in the first for 25 because I want something for this year.
Well, we got to set it up. So what do you want to put in there?
So we're giving them 31. I want your 48 and your what's the third rounder? 79. Yeah, that's what I want.
All right, wait. You want what numbers do you want? We're trading with Seattle, right? That's what we're trading with.
Was that what this was?
Well, see, that's not a counter offer. That's a create trade.
So go down to So New Orleans. Click on the pencil to the right.
A lot of comments. They trying to guide you in here, man.
There it is. Okay, there we go. All right, now New Orleans. Okay, pick number 2.
So we're gonna take your 73.
All right, you want that?
Don't look great.
What are we giving them?
Yeah,
we ain't giving them shit. Press propose.
Hold on, Cash. Remember, start high in negotiation, and then bring it down to something reasonable.
Well, that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
You teach me how to negotiate.
I'm just, hey man, hey, listen, smart guy.
I never negotiated before with somebody about some kind of shit.
Rejected. Difference of 17 points.
17 points. So I could offer them a late round pick. So let's offer them like one of our 7th round picks. We got 2. Yeah.
Well, that says value 1.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so I mean, we want pick 42, correct?
Okay.
And you're giving them 31. And
you know what? It doesn't have to be 42. Go to 132. I'll accept your 4th round pick because
I like the counter trade idea, man. It's good. This is what really happens.
So is this what you want to offer?
Yes, take off the 7th round pick, please.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, they can give us a little more. Give them both. Give me both of your 4ths. Let's see if that works.
Now you're going crazy.
Okay, it's still better. Let's go.
Accept it.
Took it.
Difference of 13 points.
Okay.
All right. So now you have the picks of this draft of 42, 57, 60, 89, 129, 132, 136, 239, and 241.
This is garbage, but let's see what I can do with it. Here we are.
What's garbage?
I need more. I need better picks than that. I'm probably taking Zion Young right here, but let's look at these trades one more time, see if I can get anything better.
Lean on your horse a little bit.
You can go with the Vikings from 42 to 49 and 82, or 46 in the future.
No. Let's take that Vikings trade. I hate the Vikings, but I'll take this trade. This is actually a good trade.
All right.
Damn, missed Zion Young. I was hoping he would squeak by, but that's okay. We're gonna take Jacob Rodriguez with our first selection in the draft.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless he asked me, I ain't saying shit.
Because linebacker wasn't on your shopping list.
I know, but I like Jacob Rodriguez, and I think we needed some upside on the. I like Jacob Rodriguez. Let's go with AJ Halsey right here.
Okay, AJ Halsey. Boom, done. All right, you're on the board once again.
Okay, let me look at these trades here. There's 5 trades, but I think I'm going to take Malachi.
Right, we're at 60 right now, and you can go to 72 and get 110. You can go to 67 and get a future 4th. You can go to 77 and get a future 3rd. You can go to 66 and pick up a 101, or you can go to 71 and pick up a future fourth.
Okay. Kind of interested in this Tennessee trade, but let's go back to the board, please.
Mixed reviews so far in the chat.
Damn. Well, of course, because we
Can
screwed
we
up.
need no damn linebacker?
Let's take Malachi Lawrence.
Right,
We don't need a linebacker first for sure.
Well, he was best player available in my opinion.
Okay.
All right. So far you have selected inside linebacker Jacob Rodriguez, safety AJ Halsey, edge Malachi Lawrence, and you still have 2 more thirds, 3 fourths, and 2 sevenths.
Ooh. You know what I'm going to do here? We don't need him either. Yeah. Let me see that trade just for shits and giggles.
To go from 82 and the offers to back up to 91, and you pick up a 126.
Okay, no, I'm fine. I got enough picks. Mike Washington, it is.
A running back also not on the list.
Not on the list, y'all.
See, Kez is that dude that the missus sends to the store with a list, and he comes back with full bags and ain't shit on the list that he bought.
No, but it's better. I came back with steak. Let me. Oh man,
send him to the store for ground beef roast. Send him to the store for chicken. He comes back with a bucket of ice cream and shit.
No. I came back with steak and ice cream. So let's look at this real quick. These I don't want to trade back anymore. I would actually. Oh, we're not at the top.
No, that's the top right here.
Okay.
86.
Like it's probably going to be the wide receiver here. Scroll down though. No. Don't go back to all. I want to see all. Scroll down. Oh, Grayson Halton. What's our next pick here?
All right, your next pick right now we are at 89. Next one is 129.
Okay.
Kids,
Snap.
they calling them kids Emery in the chat.
Oh.
Did you say Grayson Halton?
I think I'm taking Grayson Halton here.
That's not a bad come up after all that.
I kind of wanted Brennan Thompson. He's I think he's the fastest kid in the draft this year, but wide receiver is going to have to wait.
All right, because the next pick so far, chat, you're getting kind of roasted, but then there's some support coming in.
I'm like, there's no way I wouldn't get roasted after having to trade back out of 25.
You are the type of person that can get hit by a parked car, man. You fucking up.
All right, you're on the board now.
I've never heard of that kind of person before.
I mean, you have to really mess up to get hit by a parked car.
Okay, I'm that type of person. Thank you.
All right,
now you are.
If you on the board, you have 129, 132, and 136.
Okay, so we got 3 selections to make right here. I don't mind Tacario Davis, but we're going to scroll down and just make sense of these next couple of selections here. Tacario Davis, DeMonte Capehart. Okay, scroll back up for me slowly.
People are telling you to check the receiver group.
Yeah, check the receiver group. See if I want to see if Bryce Lance is still on the take here somewhere, or if he's gone.
He's probably long gone.
Yeah, he looks like he's gone. Yeah, he's not. Yeah, there he is, right here.
Oh, he went just before us.
Yeah.
Okay. Less interest in the. Okay, so we're gonna take Tacario Davis here.
Be right back, gentlemen.
Mm-hmm. All right, the 6'3", 194 cornerback runs 4.4 is drafted. Now you're back on the clock.
So we've got a safety, an edge, a linebacker, a running back, a corner. What else was on that? Like everything was on the list, but what else was? What am I missing on?
All right, you got a linebacker, which wasn't on the list,
Mhm.
a safety, which was, so you check that off, edge, you got one of them, so you may want to get another one. You got a cornerback, that's checked off. A running back was not on the list, and a defensive tackle, you got one, so you may want to get one more.
Okay, let's go to DT.
All right, defensive line.
Okay, go right back, right to the top here.
I've
Nomad,
heard
you with us? Or are you gone? Oh, he's gone.
I've heard good things about the Zane Durant. Well, we can keep looking. I've heard a good thing about Caleb Proctor, obviously.
Oh, Proctor's there. Click on Capehart for me though, please.
Capehart up here. 6'5", 313 pounds, 4'8", 40. Strengths, prototypical build, enormous arms, heavy-handed defender, powerful punch, dominant bull rush, effective versus centers, 2 gapping potential with arm length and play strength, one of the best run defenders in the draft, drive blockers into the backfield when isolated, stack, peak, and shed blocks with ease, offensive line can't move them without a high-level double team, versatile fit for a 4-3, under or 3-4 defensive end, game wrecking upside, weaknesses, struggles with leverage, playing too tall, pass rush plan lacks polished moves and counters. If bull rush does not win, he doesn't win. Limited to early down work currently, rotational reps limit evaluation sample, must incorporate more hand counters, 6 seasons at Clemson, raises age concerns. Limited sack production in his 3-year career.
Okay, close that.
Now, like Samo in the chat.
I got back. I'm here, y'all. Just so for the record.
Okay, well, we're asking, like, I guess now Samo in the chat and Nomad. Kids is looking at defensive tackle because he's gotten one and he wants to pick up another one. We just went over Capehart. So like out of these tackles on the board, kids, go ahead and ask your head scout over there.
So just do me a favor, Trip. Just scroll down real quick on the left-hand side, not the right. I think we have another. Okay, perfect. That's what I wanted to see. So go right back to all for me. Scroll up to the top here.
That is.
I'm not going to give you advice. I'm just going to give you a little tip just to remember, based on what we've been talking about and what they've gotten on the team so far, that remember they want a guy a little bit built more low to the ground, a little bit more stocky. So what Samuel was talking about with Caden Proctor, he's 6'2", built low to the ground, and he's powerful and he's quick. Everything that they've been trying to bring into the building.
Okay.
I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not asking.
No, that's perfect because that's exactly what I'm sort of thinking here.
That's also Zane Durant.
So bear with me here. So where's Zane Durant? He's up
right here.
But he's a 3. Click on Zane Durant, please. 6'1".
Both of them are 3-tech.
No love for Capehart, Nomad?
He's too big. And he plays too high.
First time I ever heard that at the.
I like him, but
you saying he plays too high like makes perfect sense as to why you're saying he's too big. Okay. All right. So go back to all. We're gonna come back and get Proctor with our next pick, which is just a couple of selections later. What can I do here? So what do I have on that list? What am I missing?
Offensive tackle, offensive center, wide receiver, another tackle, another edge. And your remaining picks,
okay,
you have 4 more picks: 132, 136, 239, 241.
So 136 is going to be Proctor. 32 here. There is Markel Bell. What do you think, Nomad? And he was 6'9". Wow.
I think it's a reach right now.
Oh, at 132? Really? Okay. Let's go to
that's not a typical size for a tackle for them. They if you look at the track record, they like their guys somewhere around 300, 315, somewhere in that area. They don't like big, huge guys. They need guys that can move. Really move.
Okay. Let's go to center. Interior O-line. Do we have any centers? Oh, there's one right at the top here. Jagger Burton. Any words?
I like him. I like Pat
do?
Coogan. I think he's perfect. I think he's perfect, but I like Pat Coogan.
Okay, I'm taking Jagger because of where we're where's yeah, we won't be around there. So let's take Jagger.
Jagger, that's what position?
D-line? Right where you are. Second guy in with the star. First guy with the star.
Oh, Jagger Burton. Okay.
Yep, Jagger Burton.
He's right there in that size range that they're looking for too.
Perfect. Let's just check this trade situation real quick. Anything worth my time?
All right, we're at 136, and the Giants are offering.
That's worth my time. Let's take that, please.
Okay. Sent.
Come on, Proctor. Don't go, Proctor.
And you're on the board.
Let's grab Mr. Proctor.
All right, scroll down a little bit. Where is he at? There he is. Boom. All right. You got
ourselves one more viable selection here.
3 more later picks.
Did you get a safety?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you got Halsey or
Halsey.
So wide receiver, offensive tackle, maybe an edge. What do you want to do?
We're going to take Taylor Green.
Quarterback?
Yep.
Not on the list, but there you go. So far you have a linebacker, safety, an edge, a running back, a 3 tech, a cornerback, a center, 5 tech, and a quarterback. You do not have an offensive tackle or a wide receiver at all, and you had 2 picks.
That's fine. I can select both of these 2 final selections, and we can call it a day. Except I'm probably not going to take the tackle. Oh, the tackle's right there. Not somebody Nomad would. Not somebody Nomad thinks highly of, though.
Who?
You're Nomad.
Of Keegan
Trost, yeah.
Who told you I didn't?
Because he's not starred here. But if you do think so, tell me now.
Yeah, star him.
Well, so much for that.
I drafted him in my draft.
Did you really?
I did.
Well, guess what? We're going to draft him right now.
Oh, sent. Now you're back on the board. Now you're on wide receiver?
No. I'm going to take John Michael Gillenborg.
Oh, tight end?
Mm-hmm.
All right, and done. All right, so you did not get a wide receiver, and I believe you only got 1 edge.
Yeah.
All right, so your picks. All right, you got a B grade, and in the first round, check that. Your first pick, linebacker Jacob Rodriguez, safety AJ Halsey, edge Malachi Lawrence, running back Mike Washington Jr., defensive tackle Grayson Halton, cornerback Ticario Davis, center Yeager Brown, defensive lineman Caleb Proctor, quarterback Taylon Green, offensive tackle Keegan Troost, and tight end John Michael Gillenborg. Do you think, chat, does this draft move the needle for you on this roster coming in 2026? And then, of course, we're going to get, probably a crap ton of UDFAs.
I actually really like this draft at the end of the day. Kind of hit everything I could hit out of the out of the pick 25. If I'm still at pick 25, I make the selection there. Or I trade for more capital within the draft. Because I traded for future capital, kind of hampers everything I was trying to do. But in any event, I upgraded your linebacker core with Jacob Rodriguez. Upgraded your safety situation with AJ Halsey. Malachi Lawrence is I was kind of, after not being able to get an Akeem Mesidor at 25, I needed to get an edge. I think I got a bomb-ass edge in Malachi Lawrence. Running back, I don't like what we have going on in the room outside of Swifty and Manungai. Mike Washington is a game changer at the running back position. I don't know about the other two guys. Grayson Halton, 3-tech. We need some help at the 3 position. We've just brought in a little bit of help, man. You know, a little bit of help in free agency. Now we got a lot of help and some youth at the position right alongside Gervon Dexter. I think this guy's got a hell of a lot more get off than Gervon ever had. Takario Davis, cornerback, pretty solid corner. I don't think we need a lot of help at corner, but we definitely needed some depth there. So I figured I'd hit that up. Offensive center. Y'all said you wanted a center. I got you a center. I don't know much about Jaeger Burton, I'll be honest with you, but I think it's at least now we have some depth at the position, given the fact that Drew Dahlman is gone. Where do I go next here? We got Caleb Proctor. Caleb's really going to help shore up that run situation, man. Stuff that run. I'm pleased with that position, that selection. Taylon Green. Potentially, maybe we wind up trading off Tyson Bagent. If it isn't this year, maybe it's next year. Gives us a quarterback to develop behind Caleb Williams. Keegan Trost. There you have that, a little bit more on that outside tackle situation. We need an offensive tackle on both sides, whether that's swing or to start. More competition at the position. And John Michael Gillenberg at some point, I know y'all don't want to necessarily hear this, but at some point they may make a decision, much like they did this year, to get rid of DJ Moore, to do similar things with Cole Kmet. At the very least, we have one more body in the tight end room from a developmental perspective who may be able to do some damage in the future. So I think I covered everything you need.
Now, what about Saran here? Still can't stop the run up front.
You ain't get no fat boy.
Why can't I?
Because you didn't get no 1-tech, 0-tech.
Both.
You got 3-techs.
I did get 3-techs, but both these guys are pretty solid in the run stopping game, man. I know Proctor is. It was either I go with Proctor or I go with Capehart. I decided to go with Proctor in this situation.
I like Grayson Halton to be able
to handle some of that as well.
Yeah, I do.
So that's why I got the 2 guys that I got at that situation. I was really considering Capehart specifically to get the 1 and the 3, but these 2 3s have been known to dabble in the run stops. So I'm banking on that.
All right. Now, granted that if you went a different direction than Rodriguez as your first pick, all of this could be different. Depending on where players go and where you're picking. Now, the kind of the purpose that where are we at? That I put this on here for is that in this little thought experiment, trading down, look at the options that you have with players, because that's what I believe Ryan Poles is going to do. I don't think that financially he wants that burden of a first round pick, being that late in the draft with the financial commitments coming up and with the sweet spot in this draft being, second through, 4th, 5th rounds. I think he wants more swings in that area. So coming back from 25, in this example, Kids was able to, just trade offers, nothing made up, but forced. But, guys, teams wanted to go back within the first round still. And so that's one trade. And then, you complete another trade out of the first round. Is that realistic? Who knows? It was just the mock. It's just some random thing going on. But play with them. You got a little bit over a month to look at the different possibilities, and you'll become familiar with these players. And it's like, okay, yeah, oh, he's got this red flag thing that we learned about Banks today, or many of us did, and on throughout the prospects. So as we are building up to the draft, it's like get to know it, get some familiarity with the possibilities that might happen. Because come draft night, and I hope you all tuning in with us, or draft weekend as well on all three networks. It's going to be jumping. Nomad Network at Keds of Canuck and Triple RCS Sports Chicago style. So as we build up and get ready for the draft, this familiarity will help, hopefully.
All right. You guys do me a favor in the chat. Outside of making sure you subscribe to all the channels, I got a real good, interesting question for the chat that I love to try to be as interactive as we possibly can with the show. And I'm gonna pose you guys a question, and let's just say, Kez, if you don't mind, keep a head count here if you can, or Trips, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna pose you this question. The next mock draft you see, whether it's tonight or tomorrow, what kind of draft would you rather see? Would you rather see the Bears move up and get a player that they really, really want and sacrifice whatever they have to do to get it, move up in the draft? Now, think about this, considering that we didn't do a whole lot of bang, so people say, in the free agent market. And they do have to get an edge, and I think that edge has got to compete for a starter's job. Knowing that, there's David Bailey on the board, there's Akeem Mesidor, there's that scenario, and all kinds of other guys, Ruben Bain, all those guys out there. Would you rather see a move up? So I just need to see an up, some kind of up arrow or a finger up or whatever it is, or would you like to see them stand pat, and that would be a down? So give me an up or down, or would you like to see a stand pat and just let the draft play out, keep your picks, and let it play out that way? Give me something in regards to that, and I'll give y'all a couple of minutes to come up with that. Move up or down, or stand pat. And maybe we'll play one out tonight.
Do what you will out there, chat. Help them out. I'll give you my 2 cents. I just don't think they have the horses to move up.
I got 2 ups already.
For those of you who want to come up, is it Bailey and or Mesidor that you want to come up for, or somebody else other?
For the most part, I think they can stand pat and get Mesidor.
Got somebody who straddled the fence. He's down unless Mesidor is at 25.
That's what I'm saying. Like they should be able to stand pat for Mesidor, or move up for Bailey and Baines if that's what they want to do. If that's what they want to do, but even then, like there you go, Patrick. Like they don't have the dogs to do that. They're gonna have to unload something, either Double J, Montez Sweat, or draft capital. It's one of the three.
All right.
So moving the needle, I think I saw something that if Bain dropped to 11, that's the best he could hope for. Whoever's at, I forget the team that's there, but would they take a pick swap in the first and throw in a JJ? Or obviously they would want more draft capital though, right? Or no?
It's about, I'll just say it's about right now in the chat, it's like 50-40 more. Everybody's saying stay pat, keep your pick. And one person saying only keep the pick if Mesidor is there. We don't know if Mesidor is going to be there. If we don't move up in the draft, let's just say Mesidor looks like Mesidor could go ahead of our 25th pick. There's somebody in there that says, "Hey, move up to get him." Hey, listen, I'm with it. I'm thinking it's more. Let me see.
Well, so what is Samuel saying? If there is no Mesidor, no Woods, trade down. So Woods, that's a new name introduced.
Not particularly new. It's just whether he's available or not. He usually
Well, I
gets,
mean, to this conversation.
Peter Woods usually gets taken just a little bit before we draft. Like Mesidor is usually the guy who's around. It's either Proctor, sometimes Proctor or Mesidor.
I tell you what, let's run them. I'll run one. Let's just try the scenario. Let's just see how the draft board plays out. Now you can put this thing on the proper speed so that we can get an idea of what the next team is trying to do, what they're looking for.
You can leave it at fast speed. Just make your trade before you press start.
Well, random back up. Let's go speed down.
Yes,
Let's just go. I mean, because we're gonna be talking between it also. We got there 7th round. Wait, how's that? No, maybe later. Thank you. Wait, too far down. Oh, move that back up. Maybe later. Well, we want to play the pro? No, we don't. Why is it asking me that? Stop it.
Because it wants $35, $39 from me.
Yeah, $39.
Switch over to
right here, down here, 0 for 3. So you only allow so many per day.
Mm-hmm.
But we can go to what's the other one? PFF?
Pro Football Network.
Wait, what is that? PFN?
Damn draft you did today, man.
Oh shit, more than 3.
2 more.
Hold on, PFN. Let me go there with free trades. Click there. All right. Now let me share this screen right there. Make sure all the sound is off. And boom.
All right.
All right, let's see if the size wise, bump it up a little bit. Boom. All right, there we go. All right. Bears.
Hey, Trips, give me a second. I gotta do something real quick. Give me a second.
All right. Yeah, so we got 7th rounds. Yep. All right, let's just enter.
Still go fast. Trust me. You can pause.
Okay.
Or else it'll take us all bloody day to get this thing done. You should have paused.
Well, it's going so damn fast.
Quick, restart it. Restart it.
All right, let's just go slow. It'll be all right.
Fine. Slow's fine. Pause it right away, though, either way.
All right, I'm here.
All right, so you ready to start?
Pause it.
All right. Okay, we got the first pick already gone. All right.
So what do you want to do here? Make your.
I don't want to see how the board's playing out. So
don't do that. Make your trade so that you can trade up to wherever you want. You can trade with any of these teams.
Well, first of all, you got to know who these teams might be after.
All right, so you got to let the draft play out then.
So the first 5 picks.
Wait. Go ahead, kids.
I'm just saying you're just look at the board to your right. Ruben Bain is number 2 on the board. David Bailey is number 5 on the board. So like these 2 players are very likely to go in the next 3 selections. So if you plan to move up to select either one of these players, if these are the players that you covet, make your machinations known, offer a trade to somebody, see what you can do to get down to number 3, 4, or 5. If you don't plan on selecting these players, let it ride.
Let's just see what it takes to get let's see what the Tennessee Titans would take to get off of David Bailey.
We got to resume the propose.
I'm not sure.
I
think David Bailey
propose anything.
Okay, resume it then. Now stop. The Giants definitely won't take him. Looking for David Bailey here.
Well, yeah, but I can't make any trade offers.
Well, don't worry about it. We'll just keep our pick because it looks kind of confusing here.
Okay. Resume. All right, so Sonny Styles went. Bailey is still on the board and off at 8.
Yeah.
So that's the top 10 cost right there to trade up, whatever it would have been.
They ain't letting us do that no way.
Well, not on this. Yeah, I don't know why. But on the previous one, to stick to the model one, we use it again. We can, set up trades, beforehand.
Thieneman been gone. We know we want Akeem Mesidor. So now
Right. It's coming up. Is he gonna be on the board?
God damn, Caden Proctor.
All right. Mesidor is on. Wait, where's the Bears pick?
You didn't select the Bears.
Didn't I? Maybe I didn't when I restarted it. Now we can go normal 7. Maybe that's why I couldn't. Yeah, there we go. Now you want to propose a trade because now it looks like we can do that there.
All right. Let's just see what the trade up looks like for David Bailey. Went 8 with the Saints because it makes sense because Cam Jordan is gone. So let's see if we can get with the Saints.
Saints confirm. And you want their number 8, and we're giving them 25 and what?
What's a good? Help me out here, kids.
I would go. Oh, you do players? You can do players in this thing. If you select underneath picks, you can do players. Go 25 and select Jalen Johnson and see if that works.
That's too much. But you can.
That's too much to trade up 13 selections.
And it's still likely rejected.
They're gonna turn this shit down. I'm trying to be.
I ain't never tried this, so I don't know.
I'm trying to show you that we just don't really have the horses to get this done. Don't do that now.
So what do you want to offer?
Well, go add Jalen Johnson to it. And then you're gonna have to go back to picks and maybe select let's add a 3rd rounder 2027 and see if that fits the bill. I have a feeling even that's gonna be too light. It's too light in the ass. Go for a 2nd rounder 2027. Too light in the ass. So basically, to move into this arena, you need 2 firsts and a player.
It ain't worth it.
So go back to picks. Take Jalen Johnson off.
Now I'm glad that we need to do this exercise because now I see that moving up like that ain't worth it.
That's what I was trying to explain to you, right? It's a pipe dream. So put 2 firsts.
It's one thing for you. I know that, but it's one thing for you to say it and then look at the simulator and see what it says.
Yeah, I don't.
And you're only close with 2 firsts.
All right. I think we got to stand pat, man. Now we got a good eye on it, y'all. I mean, I love David Bailey. I like Peter Woods. I don't want to see Peter Woods come off the board. I love Akeem Mesidor, but we only going to be able to get one of those guys.
And the picks, you got 25, 57, 60, 89, 129, 239, 241.
All right. I think we have to stay at 25 now.
Okay. And there goes Mesidor to the Eagles.
Yeah, but Peter Woods is on the board. He ain't your premier pass rusher, but he's solid.
We have no choice but to make that pick.
Peter Woods?
I can't argue with that.
Absolutely. He's perfect for what they want to do. Peter Woods off the board.
Peter Woods, it is. All right, as we enter the 2nd round now. Caden McDaniel's still there.
Now we can try to trade up and get. Oh, he's gone.
Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind. You want to pause or anything? Or no?
Don't worry about it. Let it play out. Let it play out.
All right, on the clock, on the board. Clock.
Now we have to look. Okay, who's the best player here?
Lee Hunter.
Probably Lee Hunter.
He fits. But I think we can get. I think I like the Godfather Corleone too, and we don't have to reach for him.
You should probably look at a trade here, though.
Look there. Look at some opportunities here.
All right, so we're at 57 now. Washington is offering to move back to 71 and pick up a third and 27. The Vikings want to move up and offering 52 and a second for 57 and a fourth.
I need a couple picks today.
Yeah, man, I'm with you. Don't do either one of these trades. Go back and make your selection.
We got to get an edge.
So tough sledding. It's our Mason Thomas.
Oh, slow up. Don't scroll. Let me look. I see the guy we need.
He's probably Danny Dennis Sutton a ways back. Is that who you're looking at? Or are you looking at Gabe Yakis?
Gabe Akis.
Okay.
Gabe Akis. Pick it.
Now? Oh, damn.
Yeah, I'm right.
All right. Trade offers to go from 60 and give up a 6 to get 81 and 88, or to give up 60 and get a 69. Nice. And a fourth next year.
The first one.
All right. Jacksonville accepted.
That's the only trade I'm going to take, y'all. And just try to keep it as real as we can.
All right. So Peter Woods, defensive tackle in the fold. Akis, edge is in there. So we got 81, 88, 89, 129.
All right.
239, 241. And you're on the board now.
Let's see the best player available.
Lee Hunter.
It's hard not to take.
Lee Hunter dropped this far. I would definitely take Lee Hunter here because of that.
And I like him just as much as almost as much as I like the Godfather. And it's still a reach right here, but slow down, Trips. Don't go fast here.
You need a safety and or a corner here, maybe.
Look at the safety. Let's look at the safety market.
Safety's nearby.
It's gonna be a safety or a plugger.
Bud Clark's a ways back. You can get him a little bit late, maybe with the next pick.
Let's go with the plug, man. Let's go with Big Boy.
Lee Hunter, yeah.
Lee Hunter?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go and grab him. Get the plug. You always got to know the plug, y'all. Get familiar with the plug.
Okay, so you got two selections here.
All right,
back to back.
Wait. Let's look at these offers here.
All right, to go from 88 and a 7th, Atlanta is offering a 114, a 4th, and a 5th next year, and that's the only one.
Garbage.
Wait. Hold on. Okay. All right. We gotta keep the pick. All right, let's look at the receiver. We didn't get a safety yet, too, either.
No safety, no corner, no receiver, no running back.
Let's look at the receiver.
No offensive center.
Slow down, Trips. Let's go real slow here. Malachi Fields is still there? What the hell? If Malachi Fields is still there, then there's a lot of good receivers there. Bryce is gone? He's probably way down here.
Let's keep scrolling down, but I think he's gone. I think he went just a little ways ago.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there he is.
Wow.
Miami.
I told you he's good. He shouldn't. I told you.
175.
I think just because of where Malachi Fields is sitting, I think we got to grab a safety now.
Good call.
Malachi Fields, safety.
Safety. I think we got to go Bud Clark here. Draft him.
Bud Clark. All right. Next up, Houston is offering to fall back to 106 and a 4th next year. And that's the only offer.
I wonder why. Let me see who's on the board. Let me see the best available.
Oh, best available. There you go. Cornerback.
If we didn't get Cam in free agency, David would have been a good slot corner backup to get. They might want Darrell Jackson Jr. too. They might.
All right, but now reminder, your picks, you've already got a defensive tackle in Peter Woods, an edge in Akis, a tackle in Hunter, and a safety in Clark. You have 89, 129, 239, and 241 left.
Let's look at the offensive tackles.
There go Drew Bowery.
I don't think we have to reach here.
I agree, but you don't have another pick in and around these selections, if you will.
I think we can wait a little bit later,
Going right to 129 next.
I think, okay, go to the best player available for me, Trip. Just scroll down. Just scroll slowly for me.
Samuel's boy, Big Citrus.
Where's Malachi Fields here? Is he?
He's a weird stone.
Wow, that's crazy. All right, scroll
might
back.
Be able to give Malachi Fields a pick 129.
Do one more thing for me. And I hate to even think about a corner.
He's
right
131.
I just want to see what the corner market looked like.
If you're looking at corner, I think your boy Davison's your guy. He's more of a slot, though, I think.
I know
corner.
nickel. I know these guys, kids. Don't worry. I got you in spades. All right. Go back up. Let's double up. Let's double up on our defensive line. Let's go to D tackle or Ed. Let's just go to D tackle first.
These guys are perfect for you to select, whether it's Big Citrus or Jackson. I'd go straight to edge just to see if there's anything worth talking about over there.
Hold on, kids. Trips, after this pick, how long do I have to wait to the next one?
129. You got about 50.
I think we got to get that receiver. And I think we got to
89, 129, 239, 241.
Okay. We're going to do something crazy. And I know it don't make no sense per this simulation, but go and draft Malachi Fields.
Damn.
It don't make no sense per this simulation. Yeah, just go and draft him.
There you go. All right, so you got defensive tackle in Woods, edge in Akis, tackle in Hunter, safety in Bud Clark, and a wide receiver in Malachi Fields.
Get another edge because we did lose Dominique Robinson.
All right, this is the edge room right now as the picks keep rolling through.
Overton gonna be gone. He's gone.
All right, trade offer. Chicago gives up 129 and 239 to get New Orleans 132 and 190. And that is the only offer.
Take that.
Tooken. All right, now you're back. Oh, shit. On the board. Now, Indiana is offering 156, 185, 214, and 249 for 132 and 241.
Okay, so hide that for a second. You know what they're after? Those two guys right there. The edges. They were after Max Llewellyn and I could now Dame Tucker. Go to the edge. They was after those two guys. Oh, Overton's still up there, but Max Llewellyn. Okay, so we can get a guy. We can also get a running back here too. and get an edge a little bit later because we got a couple extra picks here. And I think we need a physical back or speedster, whichever one we think is the best. Go back to the top there, Trips. Katron Allen, look at his measurables.
5'11", 216, speed unknown.
Mm-hmm. Nick Singleton.
6 feet 219.
Bigger back.
And rumored at about a 4.3-ish.
All right. One more last thing to do. Just take a look at the center market. This is probably where you want to get one.
There's Trey Zoom.
Yeah. Pat Coogan. Okay. Let's just be crazy. Chat, who you like better? Or if you know the centers, Pat Coogan, Trey Zoom, who you like?
Jaeger Burton. So
we'll grab a center here just because we got a couple extra picks.
All right, so just measurables. Gulbin is 6'4", 305. Trey Zoom, 6'6", 312. Brockermeyer, 6'3", 297.
You sure you don't want to take that pick though, or that?
Huh?
That trade was crazy. They're trying to throw you their whole draft. They want Overton.
Go ahead and take the goddamn thing. We still gonna go after a center here soon.
Yeah, I knew they're coming for Overton. If you weren't planning on picking Overton, it might be worth your while. There goes all the centers now. Oh, the zone's gone too.
Well, yeah, we're just getting into the 5th round there. All right, you're on the clock again.
Let's slow down, Trish. Let's see what we have left.
What do you mean, picks wise?
Mm-hmm.
156, 185, 190, 214, and 249.
We got a lot of room. We can do
so five more picks.
All right. Let's see who the best center is and the best edge, or DT. We'll go with one of those three.
All right. Well, DT, Keenan Allen,
Tim Keenan. Mm-hmm. Wait. You say Keenan Allen. I'm saying Tim Keenan.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just thought I saw something there.
You got all there. Let me go back to the top. Okay. Looking at them. Just slowly go down there. Slow down. Just stop right here. Let's look at the center market one more time.
Right back.
I think we're gonna get another guy. Let's go with the let's sneak everybody and let's just go with the let's go with a running back here. Let's get a big running back. Nick Singleton.
Get him?
Yep.
Got it. All right.
Next move is gonna be probably a center or an edge.
All right, yeah, the next pick is coming up here at 185. Round number 6. And on the clock.
Best player available.
Say again?
I'm looking at the best players available.
Yeah, that's 167 here, guard Cooper.
Let's get the fan favorite, man. Everybody likes Trey Zoom. He's a center. I wouldn't take him, but just for y'all.
All right, Zoom has got to develop behind Mr. Bradbury. one trade offer to go from 190 and give up 249 to the Kitties for 205 and 222.
Hell no. Fuck Detroit.
All right. So now your remaining picks, you have 3 left. 190, 214, and 249.
Let's go. Let's get one more big offensive lineman. Let's go for a tackle. Get Keegan Tross.
Trost is got.
The next two is going to be in the defensive front. We're going to get an edge and then we're going to D tackle. First, we're going to look at the D tackle market, and then we're going to look at the edge market. Big Xavier.
D tackles we're looking at now. This is the top of the board.
Slow down. Caleb Proctor. No brainer.
You want to look at the edges first?
You can look at them, but I already know where I'm going. Slow down. So slowly. All right. I know who I want. Get Caden Proctor.
All right.
Next guy is go back to edge and get Tyree West. And I want all y'all to go look at those two names on tape. Caleb Proctor and Tyree West out of Tennessee.
All right. Coming up at pick 249. And West is getting to the top of the board.
We're going to be able to get him. Come on now. We got him.
There he is. All right.
We got him.
West.
We got him.
The third edge left on the board.
We got him.
From the top.
Hey, y'all think Caleb Proctor is an animal. Tyree West is too, bro.
All right. So the final results after several trades, we end up with 10 rookies out of this draft. Defensive tackle at 25, Peter Woods. 57, edge, Gabe Akis. 81, defensive tackle, Lee Hunter. 88, safety, Bud Clark. 89, wide receiver, Malachi Fields. At pick 156, running back, Nicholas Singleton. At 185, center, Trey Zune III. Trey Zune the Trey. At 190, offensive tackle, Keegan Troost. At 214, defensive tackle, Caleb Proctor. And at 249, edge, Tyree West. Go ahead, Nomad, break it down.
Holy crap. I don't know. Just hold it still, Trips. Don't be moving around. Just hold it like that. Man, this is a draft. This is a draft. You talking about getting better in the trenches and getting dominant football players, getting better. You know, the only thing that we really didn't do is get a linebacker. That's the only real thing that we didn't do, because I think we're going to be all right. I'm thinking more we're going to be able to do some more of that in the free agent market, get some vets in here and 1 or 2 year deals. That's the reason why I did not. But everything else, holy crap. We need to get strong in our trenches and dominant in our trenches. This is how the Seahawks win Super Bowls, y'all. Strong, dominant with depth in your trenches up front. And the defensive trenches just got a whole lot better. Look at that. We got Peter Woods from Clemson, D tackle. Gabe Akis out of Illinois, edge rusher. Get Lee Hunter, the plug, out of Texas Tech. Bud Clark, our next starting safety from TCU. Malachi Fields, widely regarded as the best receiver in this draft, falls to us at 89. Nick Singleton, the physical running back presence we need. We need another physical guy when it gets cold that's used to playing in the cold in Penn State, that you can hand him that ball and put him behind that line and make things happen. Got another center, I think, / guard, but ideally center for this role. Trey Zoon the third out of Texas A&M. Keegan Tross, I'm high on this guy. I think he can be a swing tackle. I think he can play both sides, which is to me valuable under the circumstances. And I know that the Bears are looking at these tackles that way. Guys, they don't look at them just like, oh, is he a good left tackle or is he a good right tackle? They don't look at them that way. We only do. They look at guys that have value to swing and go back and forth because most of these guys don't start year one. So think of it that way. And then we get nasty, physical monster Caleb Proctor at 214. These last two guys might be the nastiest two dudes in this draft. As far as our draft goes, Tyree West and Caleb Proctor, boy, those dudes are nasty. We got physical, we got fast, we got dynamic, and wow. And look at come on, man. What do you think about this draft, kids?
Not bad. You did with it what you could. Peter Woods is solid. Gabe Yakas is solid on the edge. Lee Hunter's really going to help you out on that line. Did a lot of damage in the trenches. Got yourself an offensive center that I think everybody's somewhat high on. I think Trey Zoon is a.
By the way, kids, championship teams live in the trenches.
Well, that's what
when they draft.
I don't think there's any other way to approach this particular draft, especially given what the Bears did the previous 2 years. They're a little bit light in the draft in those last two drafts. They don't have much choice but to be trench heavy this time around. In any event, you went that way. You got it, 3 guys on the line right up front, and then a couple more on the way out. Right, so you got your last 4 is in the trenches, and your first 3 is in the trenches.
When you don't go crazy in free agency, kids, you're telling everybody something. What are you giving them as we're trying to get a locator here. Why don't they do certain things in free agency, get these certain guys that are out there? It's because they think of the draft in a certain way. They know they need some help in the trenches. They're looking at this draft as though we can find 3 to 4 plug and play starters.
Well,
I'm gonna tell you where. They think they can find a D tackle that can plug and play. They think they can find an edge that can plug and play. They think they can find a safety that can plug and play right now. And I just showed you who those guys might be.
I agree with those are the 3, in my opinion, those are the 3 selections that'll come off the board more or less first, right? My little problem with that is if you play some poker, you generally don't want to put your cards on the table and show everybody what you're playing with. And that's kind of where we are right now. We put all our cards on the table and say, hey, look, NFL, we need a safety, we need an edge, and we needed some help on that line. On both sides of the line, whether we're talking offensive line or defensive line, but primarily defensive right now. That's what we need, NFL. Oh, yeah, we also need a safety. So they put their cards on the table. The upside here is this particular draft happens to have its strengths in those specific positions. Like, it's just lucky enough, right? Lucky enough. There's a lot of really nice talent with respect to the defensive line, whether interior, 1 tech, 3 tech, or exterior on the edge. There's a lot of talent. So it's really just a question of who falls to us. I don't think we have the luxury of trading down realistically as this particular exercise sort of showed us. But you can get talent at the top of the draft, and you can get talent at the back. And Paul Martin's kind of killing it here because that's what you need to move on from a Grady Jarrett next year, and potentially move on from a Dio Odangbo. You need to ensure that those positions have been shored up in the 2026 draft.
Well, I'll tell you this as a reference, man, and take it for what it's worth. The last 2 teams that have won Super Bowls can come at you in waves of 3 levels of waves. You get the first round, you get the second round, you get the third round of waves. Talking about the Philadelphia Eagles, they are 3 deep at most positions on the defensive front, and so are the Seattle Seahawks, who the last 2 people that won the Super Bowl. The only way you get to that point to be able to put pressure on offenses and change the offensive construct and make them play offense differently is to be able to come at them in waves and make sure that you have depth. I know it looks like we got too many deep tackles, but guess what? It ain't gonna look like that when we sending them wave after wave at these teams, these offenses, and dominating them because we got fresh bodies all over the place that can bring the same production. When you think that way, you're gonna turn out to be a Super Bowl champion because I don't care what anybody says. Defenses win championships. Offensives, they get an opportunity and score some points, but defenses hold the line. And there is so much value to having your defensive front be dominant in waves that I can't even describe it no better than what I just said. You got to have waves of them.
Well, no, the question though becomes, now you look at like your draft here, like the offensive linemen, Zune and Truce. We don't need them to contribute right away, hopefully. Singleton, can get in where he fits in, no rush. But your frontliners of, let's say, Woods, Akis, and Hunter, are contributors day one, play one. Are Proctor and West, can they contribute, you think, right away? Not as starters necessarily, but rotation, or because they are such later picks, they're going to need time to develop before they can contribute?
Those are the guys that have really high talent that you don't have to push out there on the front line right away. But what, if you put them in there and you have to, they can produce because they're aggressive. They're just physically violent football players, both of them. Just go watch. And I encourage everybody listening to the show or watching the show right now, go watch Caleb Proctor on tape. I already put a short out on him, but also go watch Tyree West at Tennessee. He's like a combination between an edge rusher and a defensive tackle. You feel comfortable putting either one of them in either one of those spots, which is why we drafted them. Both of them physically violent football players that have a lot of juice, and you know that when you put them in the game, they're going to produce. They're going to show up. Just telling you right now, these are good football players, really good football players.
And what is it saying? Paul Martin, from what I gather, y'all don't think Gallimore or Street make it through training camp. I think Gallimore does. I'm not very familiar with Street, but I think Javon Dexter is more of a bubble player than, previously thought, because of where he is contract wise, and he's not a rookie anymore, so you gotta shit or get off the pot.
Hey, I hear you on that, Scrolls. It was a reason why I didn't do that.
Everybody looking for a linebacker. I got a linebacker first. Everybody's crying about the linebacker.
Well,
you just can't. I'm just saying, you just can't please them all.
It's so many solid ones. It's so many solid ones on still out there in the market. That's what I'm thinking. Not only that, you still got TJ that's probably going to come back pretty healthy. Maine is gone. You got Nephi Sewell that's going to come in here and replace some minutes that Noah was getting. And so you don't want to overcrowd that room. I'm not saying it's not valuable. I do think the way it sits, man, we have 2 starting linebackers for not that much money. And I know we'll probably get those guys to me in the UDFA market and try to raise them from there.
Well, like I say, you just can't win sometimes, man. You can't please them all. Solid draft, well put together. Again, I do expect something along these lines. A lot of work in the trenches must be accomplished. Paul, I'm quite certain that Neville Gallimore will be on the team through training camp. I'm quite certain. I am not familiar enough with Mr. Street to say the same, but I don't think they have the dogs today to do any different than bring those guys to through training camp. I don't think they have the dogs.
All right, Kid. So
After the draft, mind you, if it looks something like what Nomad has put down here, then we can have a bit of a conversation because then they will be at surplus at the at the defensive on the defensive line.
all right, kids, let me ask you a question because I think Trips kind of let me know where his curiosity was with those last two picks, talking about Caleb Proctor and Tyree West. But what any of these guys on here that piques your curiosity about, like give me some reason to give you some information on any of these guys that might pique your curiosity.
Well, you just spoke to Tyree West. I'm not very familiar with Tyree West. It's a very late round edge rusher selection. I wouldn't expect the world from him. The only one here that I don't really know much about would be Nick Singleton, the running back. So what are your thoughts there?
Physical would, I'd say, better than average speed. He's not a burner, but he's gonna hurt trying to tackle that guy in the cold. He'll put a whooping on you. He played at Penn State, so they got a nice running back trio. Nick Singleton, I forget the other guy's name. But he's just big. He's just big. I think he's listed at about 6 foot 215, 216. But to me, I think he plays bigger than that.
He does. So they have him listed here at 6 foot 219, but throughout the season he was playing at about 226.
Exactly.
Right, 4,500 yards from scrimmage in his 4-year career. Not too bad. He's been clocked at 23.6 miles per hour. That's pretty crazy. So he's not necessarily and is rumored to run the 40-yard dash at 4.35 seconds. Maybe he didn't time that in the actual combine, but maybe he plays faster than you know what I mean than he races. So crazy. I've
seen him play. You don't want to get in front of that when it's cold.
Okay.
It hurts every time you do it.
All right. Well, we need something like that. We need, in my opinion, that's why I try not to pass up on Mike Washington if I can avoid it, because we need a bruiser. We need a taller back as well, like either strong and or tall or both, just to get that. I'm gonna fall forward. I get a yard and a half type thing. You know what I mean? I might get more than that if I just fall forward because I'm so damn big. And you get that from a guy like Mike Washington. You might also get it from Nick Singleton here too.
Hey, Scrolls, how we got more edges in the Cybertruck? We only got Gabe Atkinson, Tyree West. Either one of those two guys, Tyree West or Caleb Proctor. I think Tyree West is going to be more of an inside guy. I think Caleb Proctor is going to be more of an inside guy. But just know that Dennis Allen's looking for guys that can do a little bit of both and have those traits. I think both of them project more inside. But really, the only true edge rusher that we have here is Gabe. Be honest with you.
Well, they got rid of Dominique Robinson there, Scrolls, if that helps.
You tell you, plus what we already have on the roster. Don Robbins gone.
I'm gonna ask a question, y'all. Any words? Like, I think I've already answered my own question before I ask it, but I'm asking anyways. Any words on Joe Tryon-Shoyinka and whether they are planning to re-sign him? Because they threw a pick out to bring him onto the squad at some point last year.
I think they'll get him back because I think that cost him like a 6 or something like that.
Something like that.
I think they should get him back on the roster because he's just like a draft pick at this point. Why wouldn't they?
I don't know. I'm just asking. I'm asking the obvious question because they threw out a 6 to bring this player onto the team, and you would think that they would have negotiated with that particular player to bring him back. Considering maybe not, but just thought I would ask the question. Paul's asking a good question here.
Go ahead and ask.
Why did y'all give the DT room more depth than the safety room?
Well, I'll answer that because this is my draft.
That's why I'm posing it to you.
I hear you. I think they know that there's still opportunity in the free agent market, and there's no need to overdraft in there's no need to overdraft in the actual NFL draft when you still got opportunities. The thing about safety is I think defensive coordinators, you get some that, you know, I played with a coach that valued youth and was willing to put young players out on the field. And that's different in college versus the NFL that also values youth. But also, these defensive coordinators know that their job is on the line if they put too many young players on the field and they're getting their asses torched because the young players don't know what the hell's going on all the time. Versus, there's a lot of value for linebacker and safety in the free agent market because you see enough football in the NFL, you know exactly what you're going to get when you put that guy on your roster. So I don't know that we give enough credence to that. A veteran linebacker and a veteran safety, it's worth its weight in gold. And I know we just came off of letting go Jaquan and Kevin Byard, but there's another safety out there that they probably got their eyes on. I'm just telling you, there's a lot of meat on the bone in the free agent market still with safety as we sit here.
Yep. We'll have to see what that looks like. We'll have to see. And if it was me, man, I don't know if I'd be going too deep in the safety market in this draft. The DT market is deep, right? Lot of defensive tackles available in this particular draft that I think will work out in the NFL. The safety market, as far as I'm concerned, is top heavy. The first five are very, very talented.
See, the only thing about anytime you're dealing with these rookies, especially in the trenches, is none of them know, not a one of them on this board. I don't care how good you think Peter Woods is, Gabe Akers, Lee Hunter. I don't care who you talking about here. None of them know what the weight of an experienced offensive lineman in front of them, NFL offensive lineman in front of you every week feels like for 16, 17, 18 weeks, however how many weeks you got to deal with it. You got to deal with consistent professionalism as opposed to, oh, we got this guy this week. Oh, we got to be on our A game. Next 2 weeks, we got some busters. You know what I'm saying? Like the consistency of the NFL is different. You might play New Mexico State College after playing Alabama. You can take that week off. You ain't no fucking taking no weeks off. No. You got to bring that. You got to bring that every single week. And can your body and your physicality withstand having a professional in front of you every single week that knows what he's doing? And that's why every single draft pick is a projection. It's what you want him to be. Even if you have to thrust him into, I need you this week, you still just projecting what he can do. These guys are all projections, man, until they show that they're not. So the draft is only as valuable as you think it is, or as valuable as your coaching staff is that can bring them up to speed and teach them the NFL game, get veterans around them that can show them how to take care of their bodies, show them what a pro has to do week in and week out to get the job done. All these guys are projections until they got the right system in place, the right veterans in the building, the right situation for them to flourish. I believe in every last one of these picks that I made, but I believe in what the Bears are doing probably more than I believe in these draft picks because it's about the system. It's about having veterans around them to teach them. It's going to be a different world, man.
Cool.
No, let's see.
Hey, 22 roster spots open. We're going to need a nice draft class plus some hits on UDFAs as well as those, post June 1st cuts, training camp cuts. Is any opportunity for the roster to get better? I think Ryan Poles has left the avenues, open as much as possible to have that flexibility.
Sorry about that, y'all. I almost knocked over something. But yeah, man, that's last thing I would say to this is just a simulator, and ain't no way in hell all this stuff is gonna fall this way. But it was fun doing it. I just really I think most people know who most of these guys are up to. Mostly the last two players, Caleb Proctor, Tyree West. I just take those names down and go look at them. Go look at a little tape, highlights, whatever you want to watch. Also, Nick Singleton. Kez was curious about that guy. Um, Look at Trey Zoon. People might be curious about him. Keegan Tross also at Missouri. Leave this up there for the next 30 seconds, Trips, and you can take it down. But just look at those names, write those names down, and just go take a look at it. And next time you come holler at us on Wednesday, tell me what you think about them. Tell us all what you think about them, man, because they are worth looking at. Just telling you. It's worth sitting around and looking at a little tape. Just telling you. So you can have an idea of why I feel high on these guys.
Right on.
Yeah.
All right. I think. All right, Trip, you can put us back up here. I think this worked good for us. There we go. Let's see what this looks like. Oh. All right. My bad. Any thoughts, man, before we get up out of here?
Yeah, the possibilities of the picks, the directions, the positional groupings. It's like, oh shit, do we get the safety early? Do we get the tackle early? Do we get the edge early? Who knows? Do we trade back? Do we trade up? Oh, it's getting exciting. It's getting exciting. It's like, before Christmas when you got the boxes and the presents and shit under the tree and you shake them and it's like trying to figure out what's in there. Oh, that sounds like a sweater. Yeah, that sucks. I was like, oh damn, this sounds like he got some parts to it. Oh, suck it now. And it's like, ooh, look at this tackle. Ooh, look at this guy getting after the quarterback. So it's like, yeah, you get to that part of the time where our new Bears, the guys that it's like, oh yeah, I need to get his jersey or whatever you do, you're gonna be fans of. So, do the highlights, do the film tape, but just check them out.
And also, I will have a little bucket full more players to talk about come Wednesday, man. We'll try to get back on that hunt because free agency was so thick. I had to, when we're doing shows, that's what most people want to talk about is the free agent guys and what they can bring to the table. So we'll have more college players coming up this week on some extra sauce to talk about. Some of you guys can take a look at some of these guys. But it's going to be fun, man. What say you, Kez, as we get ready to round this thing off?
Not a whole hell of a lot. I think both of these drafts went pretty interestingly. Again, we had a bit of an exercise with mine just to see what it would look like if we traded out. We had a bit of an exercise with yours to actually see what a potential trade down would look like. Don't look like they gonna do that. I don't know how else to say it. But it would be a tough. They would be coughing up 2-1s for the most part to really get into a sweet area to get a coveted player. I just don't see them doing that. In any event, the final drafts in the end both look pretty decent to me. But yeah, I just all I can say is they have a lot of work cut out for them. A lot of work left to do. A lot of positions left to be filled. So we gave our little grades here tonight. Nomad gave it a B. I gave it a C-. I guarantee those grades will shift and change in a major way between now and, let's say, end of July. I would have said June, but because of that June 1st date, contract bonus date, I think there may be some shifts, as Nomad alluded to earlier in this conversation here tonight. So we'll see how things shake out, y'all. I think there's a long haul, a lot of work. Ryan Pohl's got a lot of work. Him and that team, them coaches, a lot of work to put together to figure out what to do and how to fill those remaining 22 spots on this roster. So one more time, Shout out to Sports Chicago Style, the Nomad Network, at Kids of Canuck. Give us a like, share, subscribe if you enjoyed the content here. And Mr. Philadelphia Mikey, I'm sorry I have long-winded stories. Shit happens. Continue.
Go ahead, Trips. You gonna give some closing pleasantries before we get out of here?
Yeah, shout out to everybody. And also part of this doing these mocks is everyone gets amped up for it's like, oh, we got to get, Max Crosby as soon as free agency gets here. Oh, shit, yeah, we got to get Hendrickson, got to spend all this money, got to go all in. And then it didn't happen. And the fan base, has a meltdown. Don't have that same meltdown when, the draft gets here and Ryan Poles picks a player that is like, well, what the hell are we doing with this guy? Or whatever the case may be. Just let it all play out. Because now that the dust has settled, the ones that were kind of upset about Crosby are like, well, yeah, he did, fail a physical. And, 2 first-round picks, that would have been a lot and have to pay him. Well, how much money we get? How many open roster spots? Oh, damn. So, just let this staff do what they're going to do. And make sure you're back here Wednesday with some extra sauce because we're going to do what we're going to do, and y'all going to do it with us.
Definitely going to be a long-winded story on extra sauce on Wednesday. So take that, Mikey.
Look at FFG coming in here, batting clean up. Shout out, boy. Good looking, man.
All right, FFG, good night, fellas. Great draft. We have no idea what Ben or DA want. It will be exciting to see what the draft brings. And as Red Baron is saying, well over a month to go, well, hell, what, a month and 2 weeks or a month and a week, it'll go before you know it.
Hey, I just want to say this, man, around the whole everything that we did off. Thank y'all for being here. Number one, we love y'all. Keep showing up. It would be nice to see that everybody that's in this chat that I can see right now brings a new person to the channel. You don't have to ask them to subscribe to the channel. You don't have to ask them to do anything, but to just show up in the chat. Just bring one person. Each one of y'all bring one more person to the show, and that helps everybody out. They get to get eyes and ears on what we do, whether they like it or not. They may not like it. Hey, at least you showed them to what we do. Bring a person to the show. Bring a person to the show, and hey, let us know that you brought them there, and we'll shout you out, him out, her out, whoever it is. But everybody bring a person, man. That kind of chain reaction works, man. So we ain't asking y'all to go. You don't have to sub if you don't want to. Everybody want to be stingy with their subscription. Be that, but just bring somebody to the show. We want to see new names. We want to see new personalities in here. We love the people that's already here that's been rocking with us, but it's nice to see new blood in here, man. So somebody, y'all bring some new people up in here, man, and show them what we do. I'll issue that as a challenge for you all. But I want to just round the conversation out with this, man. What we don't know is the most important conversation to be had right now. It's what we don't know. And we're doing a lot of, think tank stuff about what could be, what the plausibilities are with everything, everything is all a question mark at this point. And that's what it should be. The only people in the world that should know what the Bears have planned are the people at Hallis Hall. And we're doing our damn well best to figure out what game are they playing, what are they setting up here, because it appears to be a real strategic game being played here. And I think that with all my soul. I think when you have 20 something roster spots still open at this point in free agency, there is something cooking. And it could be a few different things. Our point was to try to, through these mock drafts, through this conversation here, figure out what that is. And even everything that I said, not only what Keds and Tripp said, I still don't know. I still don't know exactly what they plan on doing. And that's just the bald-headed truth. I don't know. But I have a good idea of where this might be going, and everything that I'm doing moving forward and what we're going to do with the channel moving forward is to try to point out areas of where they might go, whether it be in the draft, free agency, all the whole 9 yards. We'll get it covered for you. And so shout out to everybody that was here tonight. My boys right here, my day ones is what they are. And my brothers, man, I love them. And want to make sure everybody's here at 8 p.m. Central for some extra sauce on Wednesday night. Don't miss it, because we're going to have way more, because I got a feeling there's going to be some things that happen between now and the next conversation we have on Wednesday night. But be there, be square. Y'all missing the best content on the internet, especially when it comes to the Bears conversation. But other stuff happens on that show as well. So thank you for being here. And I want to leave you guys with these famous words: love, peace, and hair grease, y'all.